All right. Well, happy Labor Day weekend, guys. We are excited that you are here for today's training call. Guys, we have a very, very special treat for you today. Not only do we have MJ, the best to ever do it, Mr. Daryl Roberts, right? But guys, we're going to have Mr. David Hart, the CEO and founder of the company, on here training you on what it takes to win, what it takes to succeed. Now, he would be here. He's a couple seconds behind because I'm on a three-way call with him right now. And so there's me, David, Larissa, and somebody else, and the call's still going. So Mr. David will be here momentarily. But guys, when you look at David, I mean, not only does he now own one of the fastest growing network marketing companies on the entire planet, but this guy has built multiple organizations in the tens of thousands of people. I mean, a documented seven-figure earner. I mean, you got to remember, he's done what you are now doing, right? Going out, meeting someone for a cup of coffee, inviting people over to his home, doing presentations, doing that type of stuff. And again, he's going to be here today doing the hands-on. So guys, right now, it is not too late to call somebody, text somebody, I mean, get your team. And oh my gosh, we got the CEO and founder laying down what does it take to go out and take your business to the next level in Trevorium. And guys, on a further note, I want you guys to know that as you guys grow in our business, as you begin to succeed, as you begin to earn income, as you become ambassadors, then one-star ambassadors and three-star ambassadors, Mr. David's advice is not just going to be about, hey, how do I go out and meet people and talk to people, but guys, you're going to start getting financial advice. And I can tell you that financial advice is worth a ton of money. And so, I mean, it's not just about, hey, how do I build? But guys, it's also advice. But man, what do I do with the money? How do I save on taxes? Things like this, right? As you get to know Mr. David. Again, now, guys, if you don't know, Mr. David Hart's probably worth about $100 million right now. And of course, that number is going up. And there's that old saying, if you hang out with five broke people, you're about to become the sixth. But if you're hanging out with Daryl and Maria Roberts, you're hanging out with Eager and Larissa, you're hanging out with Coach D and Cynthia Sly, you're hanging out with Danny Segwinal, you're hanging out with Harlan Hall and Chris Bailey and Dr. Phyllis Terry, you're hanging out with Ambassador Alex, you're hanging out with Ambassador Arena and all of the other ambassadors, you're hanging out with people that are winning, you're hanging out with people that are making money, you're hanging out with people that are buying second homes and buying Airbnbs and putting money into investments and learning tax strategies, right? I'm hanging out with people that are accumulating wealth. You're hanging out with people that are leaving a legacy, like Pastor Guy Taylor. We shared the story with you guys last week about Ludmila. She's our second one. So Ludmila was, Tatiana's mom. I mean, traveled with them, and I mean, great lady, came to all the trips, helped with all the kids. She was healthy. No one had any idea. It was a total shock. I mean, total devastation to, Tatiana and her family. But when Ludmila passed, I guess 8 months ago, she was a three-star director. And if you guys missed it, you'll see it on the corporate update call on Tuesday. But I mean, she hit ambassador about 2 weeks ago. She went from three-star director at the time when she, went to be with the Lord to now becoming an ambassador in 8 months. I mean, that's a legacy. She's taking care of her family from heaven. And guys, this is the movement that is happening. This is the new paradigm, the new way that people need to make money. You guys are cutting edge. I know you got friends and family that think you're nuts and that's one of those things and don't bring that thing near me. And they can barely pay their bills. You're hanging out with the wrong crowd. And it's funny, Daryl, just yesterday, by total fluke, I had to go and do my, annual physical. And so the Abbott laboratory got to go, let them suck blood and they check all your numbers, all that kind of stuff. And so I'm driving, the only lab that was open was in Vegas. And so I'm driving, I'm passing Allegiant Stadium on the left, got Mandalay Bay on the right. And David calls me. And David's like, hey, where you at? And I go, I'm passing Allegiant Stadium because you're kidding me. I mean, we were within a half mile of each other. He had to go check on the brand new 4,000 square foot penthouse he just bought. And so I go get blood and then we go decide to hook up for lunch. So we go to that place, El Segundo. You've been there a bunch of times. We pull up there with the valet. And so I pull up and, give the lady money for my car. And there's a guy standing there. I just start talking to him, right? I mean, guys just start having conversations. I said, hey, how you doing? I just walked up and did, hey, how you doing? I'm Todd. Yeah. And so he's like, I'm Daryl. I said, are you waiting for your car? He goes, nah, I'm actually waiting for an Uber. He goes, how about you? I go, actually, I'm waiting for my buddy right here. We're going to go have lunch. He's like, and the day you had a $280,000 Porsche there. He's like, holy man, nice car. Yeah, that guy runs $100 million travel company. He's like, really? I go, yeah. In fact, I've known him for years. I hooked up with him. My wife and I made over $1 million last year. And he goes, How do I get in on that? I mean, that was his first reply. How do I get in on that? Guys, that's the answer that you're looking for. You are looking for people that are looking. You're looking for people that are hungry. You're looking for people that don't say, oh, okay, that's nice. Or, oh, one of those things. If you're looking for people like, really, people are making money. How do I get in on that? I want to be with the people that are making money. I want to be with the winners. I want to be with people that are doing big things. So, it just kind of a funny story happened yesterday. I've already gone back and forth with this guy, Daryl. He actually lives out in the DMV. So he's out there in Harlan Hall territory. So that, I try to get him connected with those guys. By the way, just so you guys know, later this week, me and Gina will be headed to Hilton Head. We're going to the women's conference, which is off the chart, by the way. I mean, so many families, so many of our dynamic female leadership are coming to that event in Hilton Head. But I'm going to go to South Carolina, Florence. So Thursday night, I will be in Florence, South Carolina, doing a live travel party Friday morning. Anybody that comes, I'm buying pizza, I'm buying donuts, I'm buying breakfast. If you got anybody in the Florence, South Carolina area that you want to get connected, I'm going to show a flyer here at the end of the specific address. You can call me, text me. Hey, everybody's welcome, right? And I'm buying. Then on Friday, I'm going to be going to North Carolina, Charlotte. I'll be in Charlotte, North Carolina for Sophia Babinoff and for Michael. It's kind of funny, Joe. You're gonna love this story because Sophia's about 28 people away from Ambassador, and she's got this. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to get it done by October 1, but I got the women's conference. I'm like, hey, look, you go to the women's conference. I'll go to do the parties you normally do. Me and Michael will do the show. So I'm going to Charlotte, North Carolina. And we're gonna do two travel parties there. We're gonna do Friday night and then Saturday morning. And again, buying pizza, buying donuts. I will show you the flyer here at the end. So anybody want to get plugged into those events, all are welcome. Huge shout out to Anatoly, a brand new one-star ambassador. Great guy. If you've never met Anatoly, got a lot of energy, but we'll cover some of that on the corporate update call this upcoming week. Daryl, for you real quick, obviously you had a big week. Those you don't know, Mr. Daryl had a hip replacement at Stanford University. Doing well, which is obviously, thank the Lord that everything went great. You're recovering, you're doing your rehabilitation. But it was an amazing story and I never knew that you were choosing between John Hopkins and Stanford. And just like, okay, I mean, there was a time that wouldn't be the case. If you'd be choosing between, I mean, something else. I mean, you got to choose between the top doctors in the entire country. I mean, do I go to John Hopkins or do I go to Stanford, right? I mean, two of the top surgeons, but that is the kind of obviously, play. I mean, you've earned it. I mean, you worked hard. You guys have built a massive business around the world, but you now have the luxury of deciding when I'm getting something done, I want the best surgeon in the country. I'm at Stanford University.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And it came down to, again, both doctors are absolutely just unbelievable. But obviously, John Hopkins out there in the Maryland area on the East Coast didn't want to do the 5 hour ride out there to do that. And it was much easier. I might be able to get back home quicker because we're still out here in the Stanford area, the San Francisco Bay Area. But yeah, man, I'm sore. My thigh is huge right now. My mobility is very limited. It's going to take some work and some effort. And I just got to give even more credit to my wife, Maria. I think I'm finally on that last nerve right now. All the stuff she's doing to help me, and she's smiling over there. To get this thing done, man, lifting the leg and all of that stuff, man. Because I looked at the surgery, other surgeries, the exact same surgery, and dude, it was a major surgery. So I'm going to be out trying to rehab this thing in the next 90 days to 6 months, trying to do it correctly. But hey, I'm so thankful to be here, thankful for this company to do what we actually are doing. It's just amazing. And the good thing about it, I'm sitting here in a comfy chair. I've got extra pillows and in my chair, and I can't sit for very long. I've got to lay down and do the things that I got to do all through the day. I'm telling you, it's trying. But today, dude, we have like 7 Zooms we've got scheduled. 7 Zooms. We found a lady that is just fired up, and she's got us 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 throughout the day, putting people on. And so we're able to do the Zooms, and that's the best part. But I'm healthy. I feel great. I'm sore, but we're going to do what we need to do to make this happen. And it's because of, this amazing company David Hart put together, and it's allowing us to do things that we probably couldn't have done before, the way we're doing it right now. So we're very, very thankful for what's going on, Ty.
Well, guys, I think a lot of you know I am a Chicago Bears fan, and my favorite athlete of all time. I'm not the biggest sports guy, sports memorabilia, but I am a Walter Payton fan. And it's not just because he set the rushing record in the NFL. It's not just because he played for the Chicago Bears. But, guys, in his entire career, he only missed one game. He only missed one game, and he was dressed for the game. The coach wouldn't let him play. He was there ready to go. He actually set the single game rushing record in the NFL, ran for 275 yards in one game, and he had 101 fever and throwing up on the sideline. I mean, guys, he was a warrior. He
Yeah.
man, put me in, coach. I mean, he just left it all on the field. I mean, he said, "Don't die easy, don't die easy." I mean, he always stretched that ball out for that extra yard. And I bring up that story because Daryl had that surgery on Monday, and so naturally Tuesday night I said, "Hey, Daryl, I got your Zoom story." No, no, I'll be on the Zoom. I mean, Daryl, come on, man. I mean, you just had surgery. I mean, I got you. No, dude, we're going to keep our schedule. We are going to plow forward. We're going to keep doing the things that we're supposed to do. I mean, guys, the guy's in a hospital. If anybody had a reason to check out, it's him. If anybody, he don't need the money. I mean, that huge check is going to show up every Friday, whether he works or not. And yet he's out there doing the do. And you, man, why are Dylan Maria succeeding? Because that's who they are. That's what they do. And some people, they get that confused. Like, why does Warren Buffett, 95 years old, worth 140 billion, still drive to the office every day? Because that's what he does. That's who he is. That's how he got the money, right? So sometimes it's a reflection of who you are, that'll make you successful. You can't just say, "Oh, well, when I get the money, then I'll go become someone else and become lazy and not hop on Zooms." I mean, that's just not how it works. You got to become that person, man. I want to do Zooms. I want to help my team. I want to see people rank advance. I mean, you got to want that. You got to be, it becomes a part of you. It's a lifestyle. But guys, hey, we want to get out of the way. We do have our CEO and founder, Mr. David, here. It's funny, David. I told him we were on a three-way phone call, and so you were slightly delayed. But look at the background view
Uh,
of the lake behind Mr. David Hart. David, your background looks amazing. We're excited to have you here on the Zoom today. Again, everyone, I hope you guys have been texting people, calling people, getting everybody on, because today's going to be very, very special to learn directly from our CEO and founder who's built massive teams in this space. So, Mr. David, welcome.
Hey, it's good to
Morning.
be here with you guys. Daryl, it's good to see you up. You're moving around a little bit.
Very little, very little.
But you're doing it, right?
I'm pushing through. They're telling me to do that. And just one more thing for all you guys that have been texting us and emailing us, just say thank you to all of you guys out there, the Facebook posts and stuff. So I want to give you guys a shout out. It definitely kind of lifts me up to get that from there. And I got a text from David, of course, and Todd, and for him to take the time out. I know how busy this guy is running a international company, and just to think about us on the day we do our surgery. I appreciate that so much, David.
You bet. It's funny because we get on these calls and it's reminiscent of it's crazy to make this statement 26 years ago. We were all successful in the industry. We were all very young. But we were still green. We understood the mechanics of building a network marketing organization. And we were us, the three of us, all had mentors that we plugged into on a weekly basis where we took notes, we listened to their trainings. And when they told us that, hey, you had to do this, that to be successful, you had to put it on your calendar, whatever it was, we were writing notes down. We were focused on what successful people were doing, our mentors, because we wanted to be where they were at. And it's no different here today. Now we're 25 years seniors, 25 years of more experience in the industry, and now we're giving back to those people that are looking to get what we've obtained through the industry. So for all the people that are on here this morning, hey, you guys are winning because you're here. I believe that 95% of success is showing up, and most people don't even show up. They talk a big game, they want to be successful, but they don't do anything um, that even pertains to what it takes to being successful. So One of the greatest things that I've always loved about network marketing is the fact that you had people that are successful and they're willing to teach you and train you and give you all the tools, all the information for you to go out and do the same. And you just don't see that in corporate America. You don't see that in businesses. You can't go to work for another company and walk into the top executive's office and say to him, "Hey, give me all your trade secrets. Tell me how you build a business. Tell me what it takes to be successful." They're going to tell you they're going to give you your role, and they're going to escort you back out their office, right? They're not going to give you that time, energy, or effort on what it takes for you to succeed. Our business is really a simple business. If you make applicable what successful people do in their action steps that create results, you can have what they have. Yesterday, Todd Strand and I went out to lunch, and we pull into a really nice place, and we get out in the valet in our cars. And I was on a conference call, and so unfortunately had to wait a little bit for me. But Todd makes the most of everything. The guy, he made a comment to the guy when I pulled up. The guy was looking at my car, and Todd says, "Hey, this guy runs a very successful." Is that what you said, Todd? This guy runs a very successful travel business, and I've been working with him for a while now. And last year I made X. And the guy's like, "Really?" And he goes, "Well, tell me more." Next thing you know, Todd's got his phone number, texting him the video, texting him information to look at our company. And now he's going through that process of helping the guy walk the guy down the road to see if Trevorium's right for him. So, and by the way, that's a big key point too. Todd's not selling people. Daryl's not selling people. They're just giving the information. They're tour guides. They're guiding people down the right path to look at the information so they can make a qualified decision if the business is for them or not for them. And I just think that that's very powerful in ways to build your business. But what it shows is the number one income earner who's making 7 figures a year in our company. He's out every single day, just having simple conversations with people and talking to them about the business. And he proved it yesterday. I don't know if he did that just because I was there and he wanted to show off, or that's what he really does all the time. I'm not quite sure. So no, but I know Todd very well. I know that that's just what he does. He's made prospecting and talking to people a part of his day-to-day life. It's just natural to him. And maybe it's not natural to him to spark that conversation, but I think internally, at least internally, it's like, hey, this is what I need to do. So he does it. And who knows what comes from it. But, here's the key point is that, we met up for lunch. It wasn't a planned event for him to talk to that guy. That guy was just there. What was that guy's name, Todd?
Daryl.
Daryl, his name was Daryl too?
Yeah. Daryl. Yeah.
Sharp guy. And he was interested.
Oh yeah.
So
his reply was, "Cause I told him how much money the company was doing, how much money we made." He goes, "How do I get in on that?" That was his comment. How do I get in on that?
Yeah. And so, just telling stories with people. And I think a lot of it had to do with your posture, right? Todd, you postured him. Obviously, hey, the company's, it's $100 million company. And that's the owner of the company right there.
Yeah.
And
your Porsche helped.
Yeah, that might have helped a little bit too. And then I was trying to get away without saying that.
Your Porsche was the posture.
Yeah. So
clearly you guys got it going on. I didn't have to say a whole lot.
Yeah. So, but it's simple conversations, right? But you did posture him extremely well, meaning that, and part of the posturing point of view is letting people know that you've got something of value. We're not begging people to come join us. I mean, guys, we're in the largest industry in the world. We're in the largest industry in the world. And in the largest industry in the world, nobody has a platform, a product, a service quite like Trevorium. Nobody. I mean, if you go back and just dive into all the different world tours, over 145 world tours this year alone. We have 21 world tours in the month of October, guys. 21 world tours. September starts next. We always put out our best deals in September. They're all phenomenal deals, but what we do in September knocks the socks off of people. So we have nobody has a platform like us. We have two travel sites that have different wholesalers and different contracts and different agreements that both guarantee 10% minimum savings against public pricing. So let me say it again. We have two different travel sites that you could go on and do research. And they have different relationships with different wholesalers in the travel space. And you can go there to book hotels, you can go there to book resorts, you could go there to book cruises, you could go there to book rental cars. You could book airfare, even though airfare is just it's a service that we provide. There's no real discounts on airfare. But you can go there and you can compare two different wholesale sites in the industry and see which one is better for you. And then on top of that, if you find it cheaper in public pricing, which most 99.9% of the time you're not, that's okay because we're going to guarantee you 10% guaranteed savings. So you cannot lose. And then we have our getaway platform. Our getaway platform is sensational. Over 400,000 weeks, over 2,000 different resorts. You know, this year we added a new vendor, Interval International. We integrated their inventory into our platform, and they brought in about 600,000 new weeks. I don't know if you guys, I don't talk about that too much, and maybe I should. There's companies out there that all they do is offer the resort packages that charge $5,000 a year, and that's part of your package. I mean, they take that same inventory that we purchase, and we pre-purchase ours well in advance, and I pay massive amounts of money and inventory. Well, we just signed the biggest contract we've ever signed with one single vendor a week ago, the biggest going into 2026. So we are constantly innovating. We're constantly looking to the future with our company, with inventory. So we're always as a company. I guess we're very well leveraged, you could say. It's the company's driven passion to always provide tremendous value in the marketplace with our products and services. We just added, I just saw a contract the other day. We just added, looks like we're adding Port of Vallarta coming up in 2026 with a new hotel chain. They just added Cabo San Lucas in world tours, which is like my favorite place to go. We as a company just purchased a beautiful penthouse suite in downtown Las Vegas overlooking the strip. It's on the top level. It's over 4,000 square feet, a penthouse suite. It's got over 1,000 feet of outside deck to go look at the unit. It came completely furnished. The master bed cost $85,000. It's got artwork that's published in books that's included. This place is like world class, first class, and we decided that to buy this unit, and we're going to let our ambassadors come in and use it. Well, guess who lives? Guess who lives in Las Vegas? All three of us. We get to spend time with the ambassadors when they come in and use use this penthouse suite. And so that's what you get forward. That's what you have. You get to look forward to. Just an incredible lifestyle as we continue to build. And the idea behind it is to let you guys know that, hey, we're a very solvent company. We are a very legitimate company. I was interviewing yesterday an executive that we're getting ready to expand in our corporate staff. And this individual has 15 years of experience in the travel space, has worked for other travel companies, incredible resume. And I was just laying out our product, our services, and she was blown away at the stability of our company, at what we're offering, how we're doing it, the roadmap, the software that we use, and because we have a proprietary software that we've personally built within our network, within our business model, our business. Everything is in place for you guys to win. And she's asked me, well, what's your goals? What's your projections? And I go, well, I don't do projections. I have internal goals, yes. I said, but my goals is to be in business a decade from today. And so to be able to do that, what do I have to do as a company? I have to always bring value into the marketplace. I have to deliver on travel. I have to deliver on services. I have to pay people on time. I've got to have a um, a marketing business that attracts people to it, a brand that makes sense. And we do that all day long. You know, you guys have seen us step up in our branding with the company. It's we've hired a branding officer and all the videos that are out now. Guys, this is not where we end. This is where we start. I say it every single time when I start talking about the vision of the company. You realize that a year from today, 2 years from today, we're going to continue to evolve. But what's most important is that here, the core factor of our company is that we're going to be here from a decade today, decades from today. Um, one of my sons, he's 16 years old, and somebody asked him the other day. We were with I can't remember, we were with our bankers or something, and they're like, "Well, what do you plan on doing, young man?" Well, one day after I get trained and mentored, I'm going to run my father's company. So whether he will or won't know, I don't know what that's going to be look like, but the opportunity's there. What that says is that long term, we think out, we're visionaries. We think out long term. This is a legacy company. This is a company that will be here forever. And why is that important to you? Because these three gentlemen that you see on the screen, we were with companies and we did our part, and the companies weren't here. They're gone. So you start over, start over, start over, start over. When you find a gem like Trevorium, you just get in and you lock arms and you go to work with your upline. That's important because you got to know that we're going to be here long term. So, guys, I have a PowerPoint training. It's just on this success principles. I could go through that, or we could just have simple conversations. I know both are powerful. Um, yes, Marguerite asked if we would share the recording. Yeah, it's being recorded, right, Todd? It's
Yeah.
on Facebook too.
We're recording on Facebook and we're recording on
Okay.
Zoom. So we have double recording.
Yeah. And a lot of what I say, Todd and Daryl, they all say the same things. We all mimic the same things when we talk about principles that it takes to build an organization. So I will go through the PowerPoint. Of course, I always want to interject with Todd and Daryl. So we're going to do it a little bit different today. I'm going to go through a slide. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and then I'm going to ask Todd and Daryl to each interject on it as well, too. Is that okay, guys? Can we do that?
Yeah, that'd be great. And by the way, it's funny. A moment ago, you were talking about your son and wanting to run the company. In fact, John, I happened to be at Dave and Adele's. I had to do a Zoom, and John hopped on the Zoom and said hi to everybody. It was great. He's like, "Hey, everybody!" And I said, "Yeah." And I said, "Hey, what do you want to do?" And he goes, "Hey, I'm going to be running this company one day." But I mean, think about the mindset that you're building. You're building future leaders. You're building future entrepreneurs. He's not thinking, "Well, I hope I can get a job and work 9 to 5 and they pay." I mean, it's a different mindset. And guys, every one of you have the ability to raise your children where they're reading the books, Think and Grow Rich. They're reading, How to Win Friends, Influence People. They're building a mindset of I want to be successful. I want to accumulate wealth. I want to build residual. I want to be entrepreneur. So you're building a future leader when you have people just around our company. And then earlier, by the way, I don't know if I ever told you the story, David, but when you bought the penthouse suite, Gina one day goes, I go, "Yeah, they closed on it. Here's the keys." He goes, "No, how did they do that?" Because Gina was trying to, that's impossible. It's only
7 days.
been how many days?
7 days.
Yeah. She goes, "That's impossible. How do they do that?" I go, "Babe, you paid cash." She's like, "Oh, I guess." When you pay cash, things get closed quickly. But anyway, I don't know. I never got to tell you that story about Gina until the shock. We were in the kitchen. I go, "Babe, he paid cash." Oh,
We paid 2.5 million. And then we're getting ready to we're offer out in Cabo San Lucas at a dream home that overlooks the Pacific Ocean. 2 minute walk to the beach. 6 bedrooms, 2 pools, just beautifully decorated.
yeah. And I remember, guys, I was fortunate to be there with Dave and Adele, me and Gina, and they were actually put it up on YouTube. They were showing all of the different homes they're looking at. And they have videographers, that go through and video these places and the aerial shots. And It's just like one dream place after the next. It's like they're going from home to home to home. And I'm just like, yes, please. Yes, please. And we're just like, oh my gosh, look at that place. It's amazing. But guys, this is what I meant earlier, that as you start to become successful, as you get to hang out with the ambassadors, as you get to hang out with Mr. David and Adela Hart, you're going to start dreaming bigger dreams. You're going to start having higher expectations. And sometimes we don't always get what we want, but a lot of times we get what we expect, right? We get what we're willing to tolerate. We all have a minimum threshold. It's like we get to set the temperature of our own life. And there's a certain place where, hey, you know what? That ain't working for me. And you make changes. And guys, when you get around, our company and all the people that are winning and succeeding, it's going to help you raise your own expectation levels, help you raise your own dreams, help your children raise their dreams and expectation levels. I just kind of want to share that, David, based on some of your
Right.
earlier comments. But I know you got the PowerPoint here, so let's jump
Well,
into it.
David, before you get into that, when we make the statement, the best is yet to come, guys, I've said that, hundreds of times throughout the years and, growing up and in sports and in life and in business, et cetera. When I say it right now, the best is yet to come. We haven't seen anything yet. David, when I just look at some of the decisions you made on hiring, I know you call him your son now, Cameron. When you just look who that guy is and what he does and what he brings to the table, and you can go through every one of the employees step by step. And then I'll just close with Troy. What Troy has done in the last 60, 90 days, whatever time he's been on board. I mean, I'm looking at these videos and just saying, you got to be freaking kidding me. It has upped our company, the level, the buzz, the energy, the excitement is at an all-time high. I can't wait to meet if you hire the lady that you just talked about. But every one of these guys is coming from decisions that David is making, and they're right decisions. So you're in the right place. You're at the right time. You got to do number three. You got to take massive action because you could have been back in the day with Microsoft. You could have been the friends with Bill Gates and those guys. But if you didn't take any action or say, hey, let me get some stock options, nothing is going to happen for you. So this is what Marie and I term the golden window of opportunity. I believe this next 3 to 5 years is just going to be absolutely bananas. And those of us that are willing to put in the time, the effort, the learning, coaching, being hungry, all out massive action, sacrificing all the other stuff to be focused here for the next 3 to 5 years. Those of you that are here right now, David, it's just even tough to imagine where life is going to be for all of us and those that join us.
I like this approach, you guys, and Daryl, I couldn't agree more with what you're saying, where we all kind of interject. It's actually kind of fun for me. So I look forward to doing this. So, um, and our goal is to buy a dream home location every year. So this year we're going to buy two. We're actually going to put the property we're on into the program as well. And this is up in Big Bear, California. It's a four level home, 4 stories. The bottom story they're building out a gym, and here in the next couple of months on the
The
fourth
a
level.
theater,
Yeah, we have a theater room, pinball machines, 6 bedrooms, ping pong, jacuzzi. What?
pool table.
Oh, pool tables, the whole thing. It's just a fun house, and it's decorated. Miss Adela decorated it, and it's just beautiful.
And guys, you can see the view behind Mr. David. That's the lake. That's Big Bear Lake up in the mountains. I mean, it's majestic. You're out on the balcony barbecuing. The whole lake's right there. You can see all the boats going by. I mean, it's
Yeah,
incredible.
we got hiking trails, we've got biking trails, we got fishing, boating, jet skiing. In the wintertime, there's skiing, inner tubing, snowball fights. Just, I mean, beautiful town to go in, shop around, hang out, great restaurants. Shame on me, but there's this little ice cream place I like to go to in the summertime. They also make this really nice chocolate fudge, sometimes I get a little chocolate fudge. So, but yeah, it's a very beautiful little quaint town, and it's tucked away back here in the mountains in California. So, for some people that have big families, because you can put 14 people in here, will come here and use this. Some people will say, "Hey, I'm going to go to Cabo." Cabo's got the six, I guess, 5 bedrooms, and then it's got a six casita. We call it a casita, which is like your own private little house on the property. Maybe you put the mother-in-law out there if you have to. You want to bring her along, you just put her out there. So if you're Igor and Larissa, you're going to need a big place like this to house everybody. But a lot of people have big families, so we give people lots of options. And in 2026, we will be buying something in Madrid, Spain. And we're also looking at what you could buy, and for a few $1 million in Thailand on the beach is out of control. So we'll be, as we move forward, that's the vision. When I start talking like this, what happens is it becomes it's actionable. I take action on the conversation is what I do. I could tell you back in 2015, Todd Strand and I went to Puerto Vallarta, and went to a resort. And our goal was to understand the resort process and then speak to people about implementing a world tour type program. And that was just the conversation. It took us, was it 2015, Todd, or 16? When was that?
That was 2017.
Oh, 2017. Okay, good, because we started the program in 2018.
Yeah.
So that actually aligns even better. And and then of course we've evolved the World Tour platform. Our first year of really running the World Tour platform, we had 7 World Tours. And the people in the company were elated. They were like, "Oh my gosh, 7 World Tours." Remember that, Daryl? Seven of those things. And then points, you had to wait a year for your points to mature before you can use them. And so we've continued to evolve and come a long way. And of course, if you're new, you don't care what we had in the past and how we evolved. You just care about where it's at today. But sometimes you have to take a look at the past history of a company to understand where they're going in the future. And so that's why I bring it up to you. So we're going to talk about success steps. And a lot of us, the 3 of us, we all believe in these success principles. We probably explain them a little bit differently. But to the core of our beings, whether you're talking to Todd or you're talking to Daryl, we'll all agree with this. So success step number 1, you have to know your why. This is so key. Like if you're going to get involved in Travorium here, and you're not here to, have a hobby, make a few 500, 600, $700 a month, if that's not your goal, but your goal is to build a big business, right? You want to build a big business. You want to become an ambassador, right? You got to know your why, because in our business model, you don't sign up and go full time. You sign up and you do what you do full time to pay your bills, to support your family, to take care of those obligations. You take that extra downtime that you have and you say, I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm willing to put Travorium on my calendar when I'm tired and I get off work and I dealt with, the boss and all the people at work, all their bullshit and all of that crap. I know I just cursed, but sometimes you got to keep it real. No, everybody's heard that word. My wife just gave me this look like, oh, but it's true, right? I mean, you're dealing with all kinds of crap, right? You come home, your attitude's not right. And you know what? You just like, hey, I'm going to sit back on the couch and drink a beer. I'm going to sit back on the couch and just watch my sitcom for tonight. I'm not going to do anything, right? That's what a lot of people do. They let little things that are temporary take them out of long-term things that can help make them successful. And so it's important that you know your why. Why are you here? What are you wanting to accomplish? You guys are here on a Saturday morning, giving up your Saturday to hear from 3 successful people that are basically have $1 million businesses that have made millions of dollars in the industry that you want to become successful in. I'm telling you, you guys are rock stars for being here, and hopefully you're taking notes, you're writing down the information, and you're going to make it applicable in your action steps to build your business. And so we're going to go a little longer today than an hour, by the way. I'm a big believer that we always want to give back. These 2 other gentlemen, they want to do the same. So you have to define your why. Why do you define it? Because you're going to have days where you just don't want to do it. You don't want to put in the action steps. You don't want to make the calls. You don't want to read the books. You don't want to come on a podcast. You don't want to listen to a Saturday training. You want to check out, but you don't check out because you know your why. You've defined where you want to go. What is your dream? What do you want? Right? And what's most important here is that, hey, look, you don't measure yourself against what everybody else is achieving. You only measure yourself against where you want to be. The only thing you can do when you look at other people, I guess so many people get caught up. Oh, that person went 1 star ambassador, that person went 3 star director, and I'm still here as a director. Don't worry about where they're going. What you should do is go, how did you get where you're going, and write down notes. Make sure, do a self-check on you, on making sure your action steps are applicable. But the first step here, and I'm gonna let both of them interject, is know your why. What's your dream? Why are you doing this? What do you want from it? And how bad is it? What's the burning desire inside it says, you know what, when I'm freaking tired and I've only slept 5 hours and I just dealt with a boss that I don't even like, it's telling me to do stuff that I just don't want to do. And I come home in a bad attitude. Am I turning it around? And I just take that crap that I just dealt with, that I put it off to the side, and I say, now I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be focused. I'm going to be positive, and I'm going to work on my business, because that's what successful people do. They know their why, and they make that their strength to keep them moving forward. So, Todd, Daryl, you want to go first, Daryl?
No, I'll let Todd go follow that because again, well, I guess I could go, but Todd, you take it first. I want to go third this time.
Yeah. So, I mean, your why, guys, is your North Star, right? I mean, the why is that dream, that vision. And the Bible says, without vision, the people perish. You got to have something that you know that you want. And Daryl tells this great story about this dog that's out there laying on the porch and he's moaning and whining and, and he's, obviously not feeling very good. And this guy comes over and says, man, what's up with your dog? Oh, he's laying on a nail. Well, I mean, shouldn't you get the dog out there? Because when it hurts enough, he'll get off. Right. So sometimes, guys, you got to have something hurt enough before you're willing to propel yourself into action. Right. And the why is, man, here's what I want to be. Man, I want it so bad I can taste it. I want it so bad I can taste it. And that's the kind of why you want to have. It drives you, propels you. It's when the people say no or the negative, I won't be deterred. We had Ambassador Paul and Donna Scales on here 2 weeks ago, and Paul's biggest leg quit. His 2 star director, his biggest leg quit on him. His biggest leg became his weakest leg. But Paul's vision was so strong. His why was so big. What he said next told you everything. He goes, when that biggest leg quit, I told Donna, I will be an ambassador if I have to put in all 188 people myself. And guys, when you have that kind of thing in him, that's the why, that's the drive, I want it so bad I can taste it. And you want to define your why very, very clearly, not why Daryl's doing it, not why David's doing it, but that why that makes you cry, that why you drive down deep. And we have a little form that we do to teach people to help discover their why, where you ask why 5 times. So, why do you want to run a 5K? Well, I want to get in shape. Okay. Well, why do you want to get in shape? I want to have more energy. Why do you want to have more energy? Because I want to do better at work. Why do you want to do better at work? Because I want to provide for my family. So you can do a why thing where you go down to 5 deep and you come up with deeper reasons for why you're doing it. But some of you have an emotional why. And you'll meet some people. And when I dig down, like, hey, what do you want? Man, I want to get a brand new car. Well, why do you want a brand new car? Well, I don't know. I just want a really nice car. Well, okay, well, what kind of car? Well, I want to get a Mercedes. Why a Mercedes? Because it's a nice car. And they're just kind of giving this surface stuff. And you kind of keep drilling. And you'll get a reason like Paul gave us 2 weeks ago. You know why? Because I've been told my whole life I'm not going to amount to anything. And I can't wait to see the looks on their face when I pull up on my Mercedes. Now I got the why. Now I got the thing that's going to keep you in the game. It doesn't matter who says no. It doesn't matter if you have a bad day or this happens or that happens. You're going to keep moving forward. And guys, you need to know the why of the people on your team, because you need to help them when they have a bad day. Remind them, man, you're going to give up on your kids because of that idiot. You're going to give up on that dream because of that person. And you just bring them back to their North Star of why they're doing it, and they can shake it off and stay focused, right? But guys, the why, it all starts there. If you don't have the why, nothing else matters. We say if you have, until you have the why, the how doesn't matter. But when you have the why, you'll figure out the how. The why is more important than the how.
Wow. Again, guys, I'll just kind of stack on top of that, but it's pretty much the same until you discover your real why. Let me say that again. Until you discover your will, why, guys, you're always going to struggle to follow through. That's exactly what David said, exactly what Todd has said as well. But once you do, you can become unstoppable. I look at my story back in the day, some 24-year-old kid wanting more out of life than I had. I didn't want to go through what my dad and mom had gone through and the life that they lived. And I knew there was something else out there. And one of the first trainings I went to, they taught us to develop our why. And once we got our why in, guys, we became unstoppable. It didn't mean that we didn't fail, didn't mean that we didn't fall down, it didn't mean that we didn't have any challenges. We had tons of those, but the why, once you have that why, guys, it's going to take you to another level. One last quick story, guys. The mom who lifted the car, there's a story about a mom. Her son was out in the driveway working on the car back in the day. Everybody has a little jacks. They still do it, I guess, today. And the car, one of the jacks fell and it fell on her son. It was crushing him, a 2,000 pound car. Well, the mom saw this. She was looking out of the window. She ran out there and she ended up lifting the car, a 2,000 pound car, off her son. And they called 911, saved his life, etc. But she had a huge why to do it. She didn't call Google or the sports team or the training, the gym people, and say, well, wait a minute, what's the proper way to do this? How do I lift this up to save my son? She had a why. And when you have a why, the hows are going to come for you. So, guys, that's the number one thing besides the decision. And maybe we'll get to that in a few seconds. But until you get your why, you're always going to struggle to follow through. It's number one thing out there.
Yeah, and I would just real quick expand that why a little bit, guys. Know your why, right? And I love the way Daryl just put that. I wrote it down, guys, verbatim. I hope you guys wrote that down. It was just so poetic, right? Your real why. You're always going to struggle to follow through until you know your real why. But I want to expand that why to why Trevorium. Okay, why Trevorium? Because, guys, if you start analyzing, if not this, then what? If not this, then what? You can go sell cars, insurance. You're gonna get a franchise. McDonald's costs 2 million. Subways cost 300 grand. By the way, they're going out of business like crazy. If not this, then what? You're gonna go wax cars like David did. He can tell you all about that. All you do is train your competition. You're gonna go mow grass. I had 10 trucks on the road, 25 employees, guys. That is not a pretty way to go. Most of you can't quit your job. You got bills, you got kids, you got responsibilities. You can't just go, bet it all on some dream. You got to provide, you got to put food on the table. So you got no money, no time. How are you going to get ahead? What options do you have with no money, no time to make your why a reality? If not this, then what? And that's something I know that Daryl and I and David came into, a reality a long time ago about, man, you know what? This business ain't perfect, but compared to everything else, it is the best thing going out there. So yeah, maybe it's not perfect. Yeah, maybe this, maybe that, but compared to everything else, there ain't nothing better. And when you understand there ain't nothing better, then that's when you take your chips and you go all in. You quit, putting your toe in the water and maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. And guys, you just get excited. You get committed. You're like, man, this is my thing and I'm going to have it. I'm going to make my dreams come true. And this is the place. I got the place. I got the company. I got the mentorship. The rest is up to me and I will succeed. I will not be denied. It is my mountain. I will climb it. You will soon see me at the top or dead on the side, but I ain't coming back. That's the decision Daryl's talking about. When you make that decision, it's a done deal. When Paul Scales lost his biggest leg and he said, man, I'll put all 188 in myself if I have to. He made that decision. It was a done deal. There was no doubt he was becoming an ambassador, although it took another year before he actually became one. But he became an ambassador in that moment.
It's just mindset. And the other thing is that your why is important because it's going to require you to do change on your schedule, change in the way you've done things in the past to get you where you're at today. And change is uncomfortable. So it's important to have a big why or a dream because it helps drive you to accept the change that needs to take place in you. It's like, you go to the gym and you work out, right? To build muscle and stay in shape. But there's no gain without pain, right? Well, it's a mental warfare in building a business. And you're going to have to change through the process. So it's important to have that focus on why you're doing what you're doing, because in anything we do that's new for the first time, it could feel a little uncomfortable. We don't know how to do it. You're going to feel out of place. And so there's going to have to be some change that takes place in you. But you know what? These two gentlemen, they 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 grab a hold of change and they understand it. And all people become successful, they understand it's just a mindset in regards to change. So don't run from it, run to it. Run to change. Success step number two. I could literally do an hour just on this right here, because this is the lifeblood of your business. This is what makes all the difference. You have to share the business, and oh yeah, share the business. And so many people get to the point where they forget that this is the lifeblood of being successful. And you're doing this for a few reasons. You're doing this, one, if you become a leader and you've built a big business, why you continue to do it. That's why Todd was prospecting people yesterday. I think he was just showing off. He was just using my Porsche to get another guy in. And no, I'm just teasing him. But you know what? It's a subconscious level to him to share the company. But the reality is that you need to do this all the time. You need to lead by example. And then you also need to continue to build on your business. And when you get to the point, like right now, you're brand new in the business, because I was brand new in network marketing. I remember, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to go find people to recruit. I got to make phone calls. I got to look at my list. We didn't have social media back then. Yeah, I'd be strolling around the grocery store, bumping into people with my cart, and then sparking conversations with them, trying to talk to them about a network marketing company back in the day. Whatever the case it is, right? At the beginning, it was uncomfortable to do that at the very beginning. But
Yeah.
as continue to do it over years, it just become to a subconscious level. And now it's fun. Don't have a problem with it. I'm just having simple conversations with people. So even if it feels uncomfortable today, continue to do it, because if you do it long enough, one day it's not going to be anything for you to have conversation with people. Guys, I want you to spend a little bit of time talking about sharing the business and why that's important. And then we'll move on to the next one.
Well,
I
go.
I was going to expand upon David's talking about being uncomfortable for a moment, guys.
Yeah.
In fact, a simple exercise I learned from one of my mentors. Would you guys take your hands? I want you to put your hands together like this. Okay. So if you're on the Zoom, just put your hands together like this. Now, some of you have your left thumb over your right thumb. Okay. Now, some of you have your right thumb over your left thumb. Now, whichever way you have it, I want you to reverse it. So if you have your left thumb over your right thumb, just reverse it. So now your right thumb's over your left thumb. Okay. And the other way. Now, it feels a little weird. But guys,
Yeah.
but for $10,000, $20,000 a month, could you get used to just do this? It's just a little awkward for a moment, right? But before long, you can't even remember which way you used to do it, right? It's just like, I can't remember what was the original way. You can do the same thing here, guys, and just flip it, right? Same thing. Some of you have your left hand right here, and you have your right hand tucked. And the other, somebody else, it's the opposite. But guys, it's simple. Our business is that simple. You're just a little uncomfortable for a moment.
Yeah.
And before long, it seems totally natural. I can't even remember which way I used to do it to begin with, because they both seem so natural. And the same is true when it comes to share the business, share the business, share the business. I mean, guys, it was really an automatic thing. I got out of the car. The guy was standing there. Hey, how you doing? I mean, my wife, I get in an elevator. Hey, how you guys today? Where are you guys from? I mean, every time, it's just an automatic. Where are you from? It's just having conversation. Oh, you're from Arizona. You're from here. You're from there. I mean, it's just, you're just asking questions. And sometimes the conversation goes in a great place, and sometimes the conversation went nowhere. They got off on the next floor. We didn't really get to go any further, didn't get to prospecting, but you're always just asking questions. You're always just learning to try to connect with people in new ways. And guys, the lifeline of the business is share the business, share the business, share the business. I don't care how big you get. I don't care if you're Eager, Larissa, Daryl, Maria, Tatiana, Ark, Todd, Gina, share the business, share the business, share the business, share the business, because your people, if you want to get them motivated, they need to see new people coming in. They need to see new energy, new blood, new excitement, new rank advancements, right? Some of you are spending too much time trying to motivate the old team. And the only way to motivate the old team is by bringing in new team that they see that's having success and growing and having fun. And then that brings the energy to the old team. That's why they call it new blood, right? If you are a cyclist, and I'm not suggesting this is the way you do it, but the cyclists, they're biking and biking and biking. They're using up all the oxygen in the blood. So some of these guys, when they talk about doping, they take out their old blood and they put in new blood that's highly oxygenated. And they do that in cycling, the Tour de France. And you're not supposed to do that, but they do that. But it gives you the idea or the image of what new blood can do. Man, I need new blood, new energy, new excitement. And so you're always share the business, share the business, share the business, and it will become a natural part of what you do. It won't seem weird. It just seems completely natural. Everywhere you go, always looking to bump into people, always looking to put yourself in a position to meet new people where you can share the business and you get very comfortable with, hey, you know what? Some people, they're not open today. That's okay. You know, I'm looking for the ones that are looking. I'm looking for the ones that are hungry. I'm looking for the ones that are looking for me. But you can only do that if you're out there bumping into people and sharing the business. Daryl?
Yeah, pretty amazing, guys. People who are good at something, they put in the right amount of time, plus they put in the right activities. That's it, guys. There's no shortcut. You've got to go through the process to learn what you need to learn to do what you need to do to become successful. I mean, guys, think about Steph Curry. We all know who Curry is, right? Guys, he's one of the greatest shooters in basketball. Guys, he doesn't take lucky shots. It's not him. He has to make 300 shots a day during the season, and he has to make 500 shots a day in the off season. Guys, that's what you call discipline. That's what you call practice. Maria and I, we practice the scripts. Guys, we've got about 6 people. The big question for us, why are you guys living in Vegas, but you're at Stanford Hospital? That was a question. So you got to learn how to be able to pivot in our business when you actually talk to people. It's the same in our business. If you can learn how to pivot into a conversation. So that was the question. How are you guys out here? Guys, if you learn how to pivot at a certain time into our business, it can make things happen for you. And when you tell them the story, guess what's going to happen? Wow, tell me a little bit more about that. Because when I had to pivot, well, we have a travel service. I explained what we actually do, gave a little bit of scripting of what we do, and 6 people have interest. Now we're going to be following up with those 6 people. But again, the way we've gotten good at doing that, the way that we are professionals at doing that, is we put in the time, we put in the practice. I remember when Todd is teaching some stuff, and I said, Todd, that's some good stuff. It will take me a week or 2 or 3. And then I'm sitting there writing it down. What did he say? I'm writing it down, guys. And then I'm reading it to Maria. And then I still screw it up the first 5 or 10 times. But it's something I want to learn to say. And I do that with every mentor. With things David says, things that Jim Rohn say, I can't get it in the beginning. I have to practice it. So again, if you can understand that showing the business is the number one thing in our business, guys, that's where it's at. And the only way you're going to do that is you're going to learn to do that. And it takes skill set. You can't come home and watch TV for 4 or 5 hours. You need to be practicing. How do I say this like that mentor says it? And the only way that's going to happen if you practice it. And if you do that, guys, you're going to be as smooth as David. You're going to be as smooth as Todd. You're going to be as smooth as my buddy Harlan Hall and Chris Bailey and all the rest of you guys that are out there that know what you're doing. It happens because of practice.
Yeah, the learning is in the doing. The more you do it, the more it just rolls off your tongue. And so Daryl, by the way, again, I want to give you credit, Daryl, because you and Maria have been taking time with people to help them write their script, rehearse their script, say it again. So when you get on a phone call, it's not the first time you said it and you get all tongue tied, right? You said it so many times, it just rolls off your tongue. And I believe one of the greatest invites comes from Mr. David Hart. I mean, it's just a phenomenal invite. He calls up, right? A little 1-minute small talk and says, hey, look, man, there's a purpose for my call. I just got started in business. I'm excited about it. If I sent you a video to review, would you review that video and give me your candid feedback? Would you do that for me? I mean, it's a very simple invite, but if you've never said it, right, you get tongue tied. But if you just say that again and again and again and again, the learning is in the doing. It just rolls off the tongue. And so again, you have to go out there and do it, share it. It's no different than Daryl had a son that set the home run record at his high school playing baseball and now playing college. I had a daughter that, set the home run record at her college, right? When they first started swinging the bat,
It's,
it was not normal. It was goofy. It was not natural. It did not look good. They had to do it and 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 do it. And then eventually, after doing it so many times, then the swing came along that hits the home runs. Guys, the same thing is true here. You just have to do it and do it and do it. Share the business, share the business, share the business, share the business. And the more you share, the easier it's going to get. Uncomfortable for a moment, and then eventually it seems completely natural. But guys, it will change your life. It is not comfortable to sit in traffic every day and suck on the tailpipe of the car in front of you. It's not comfortable to go to a place 9 to 5, being told what time to be there, what time you can go to lunch, what time you can go home. Hey, my son's got a ball game today. Can I go? No. Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, my daughter's got a award she's getting. Can I go see it? No. Okay, I'm sorry. Can I take a vacation? No. Okay, I'm sorry. That's not comfortable either, right? I mean, choose your level of discomfort. There's going to be some level of discomfort. You just have to choose what that level is going to be. You can have someone else impose it on you, or you can say, you know what? I don't mind imposing a little discomfort myself, right? So that I can do whatever I want, whenever I want, right? That discomfort is easy compared to the alternative.
Todd, David, please let me just get this part in because it's just kind of dovetailing what Todd said. Guy, here's the beauty of a model that our company that David's put together. You can literally fail your way to the top. Now, the doctor that did my surgery, world-class guy that's out there, he could not have 50 screw ups and still be a surgeon. You just cannot do that. You can go out and talk to 50 people over the next day or two, week or two, month or two, and nobody signs up. And then that 51st person signs up and it could be a Danny Seguinall leg. It can absolutely explode over time. You can't do that in traditional businesses, but you can do that here. And the other challenge with traditional businesses compared to ours, guys, you can earn while you learn, while you're failing, while you're signing up a couple of people. Dave is paying you $50. You build in that structure. Dave is paying you every single time you do that. So the point I'm making is you, with our company, with Trevorium, you can fail your way to the top. You cannot do that in any other industry that I know of.
Did we lose him, Todd?
No, he's still here. He's done.
Okay.
We're going back to you, Mr. David.
Okay. All right. Perfect. I said my internet is not stable. So, it's in those conversations, you'll get better the way that you articulate the initial conversation with people. People ask me, so what is it, David? What do you do? Well, I'm in the largest industry in the world, and we're in the tourism industry. I don't even like to use the travel industry so much. I use the tourism industry because it sounds even bigger, right? It is the largest industry in the world. And I say, and what we do is we show people how to make money by showing other people how to save money on travel. So I don't want to put the focus on them that they have to travel. So I don't come out with, hey, we show you how to, it's not about you traveling right now. That's not the purpose of my conversation. I want a business builder. So I'm saying conversations like we're in the largest industry in the world. We're in the tourism industry, and what we do is we show people how to make money by showing other people how to save money on travel. So if they like to travel, well, guess what? Naturally, subconsciously, they're going to want to save money on travel, right? Everybody wants to when they travel. And by the way, I was with yesterday in that interview with that executive. We were talking about the travel space, how costly it is today versus where it was pre-COVID. I mean, travel is expensive. It is a luxury and a gift to go on. Daryl talks about how would you like to travel at 5-star experiences on 2-star budgets. So, and that's what we do here. So, it's sharing the business with people. It boils down to redefining how you say things, right? And that approach at the subconscious level, what I just shared with you, and I'm going to review it again. Hey, you know what? I'm in the largest industry in the world. You're telling them what you're doing is serious at a subconscious level because you're working at the largest industry in the world, right? And I'm in the tourism industry. When you say tourism, it's inquisitive. It's like, well, what is the tourism industry? Why is it different than the travel industry? It sparks interest, right? At a subconscious level. Maybe they didn't know everything about the tourism industry. And then here's the kicker. This is what draws people in. We show people how to make money by showing others how to save money on travel. So I'm not selling them to buy travel. That's not what I'm doing. My question is piques another interest. Are you open to making money without saying, are you open to making money?
Mhm.
I'm saying what I need to say, but I'm saying it a different way. But the approach in their subconscious mind is the same. If they're open to making money, then guess what? They're going to want to know more, right? Every time I'm prospecting people during that process, after they've watched the video, I'm letting them know, and we could do a whole training on this, is that they're partnering with me or with people in my upline that are extremely successful, and they're going to teach me and you on how to be successful in the business. Don't ever not use that approach. Now, that was bad grammar on purpose, right? What I'm saying is that let people know that they're not in business by themselves, that every step of the way, there's a system that will train, teach, and educate them on how to build the business, right? That's what people want. If they're going to get involved in a business they've never done before, how do I do it? Who do I talk to? I get all excited, but I don't know what to do. If I get all excited, I don't know what to do. Guess what? I'm not going to stay with it because I don't know what to do. My excitement ran out. I have a few failures and I don't know what to do next.
Mhm.
So that goes into the next segment, which is be teachable, be coachable. Well, part of being teachable and being coachable, if you're going to have a successful organization, is you need to let your team know, the people you're prospecting know that you're there to teach and help them. You're there to be a tour guide and where they need to go to be teachable and coachable. All you people that are on this call, there's over 400 people on this call this Saturday morning. Guess what? Somebody put you on this call. They were teachable because they understood that they're going to be on the call and you need to be on the call. It's a monkey see monkey do business, right? So this is part of creating success in your organization. You cannot be the only one that teaches your team. Like, why wouldn't you take advantage of a Todd Strand and a Dale Roberts? Or when David Hart comes on, why wouldn't you go learn from 30 plus years of experience in the industry, right? Some you take, some you don't. It's like you go to the grocery store, you take bits and pieces. You don't take everything in the grocery store. And guess what? What we're saying is 100% applicable on what it takes to be successful. And maybe during this training, there's things that you're getting that you didn't get 6 months ago if you were in this been with us that long, a year ago. Why? Because your mindset, your where you're at is at a different level, so you're hearing something and it makes sense today. So don't think that this training's a one and done, right? You got Todd Strand and Dale Robert taking notes on what I'm saying. You got me taking notes. You got me taking notes. Guys, do I need to take notes? Maybe not. Does Todd and Daryl? I mean, I'm not really in the building side any longer, but I love the business. I want to be coachable. I want to continue to learn. I know that I'm going to, continue to teach and pour out to people on what it takes to be successful. I know what my passion is. My passion is to show people how to be successful entrepreneurs and start a business. I want to bring hope and prosperity with the opportunity here at Trevorium all over the world. When my day is done, I want people to know on the business side, I left my stamp on what it takes to be successful and how to run a business because I've done it my whole life. I've never been an employee. I want to take that and I want to take that seed across the world. I want to build that into my children, right? You listen to my 16-year-old sons talk, they're not talking about being employees. They're talking about being entrepreneur and business people. They're talking about taking over, right? Their mindset's different, right? And we have the ability to do that. The other blessing that you get to do when you build a business like this is that from a subconscious level, if you have family and kids, they're seeing you change. They're seeing a business acumen come together. They're seeing your business side come together, and you're sowing a seed into your children or your grandkids, like Deborah Taylor. She's sowing a seed into her grandkids, right? So Be open to learn. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Be open to learn by people that are where you're at and where you want to be. That's why you're on this call. Be teachable. Do it by example. So your team knows that, hey, I'm coachable. I'm going to go listen to, I'm in Harlan Hall's group. I'm going to go listen to Harlan Hall. And what's your team doing? Well, if David's going to go listen to Harlan Hall and that's his upline, guess what? I guess I need to go do that too. And then you teach people to be teachable. That's what we're doing right now. We're teaching you to teach other people to be teachable, right? We're talking about it. So Daryl, Todd, go ahead and
Well, Dave, you already set the bar so high. We just basically gonna say the same exact same thing. But one of the things that I've learned here this last probably 4 or 5 weeks or so, the 4 or 5 months or so, is that I'm telling people I'm working with you. You got to be number one, hungry. That's first thing. And I kind of describe what hunger is. You got to be hungry. You got to be coachable. And then guys, you got to be willing to learn. Sometimes we to the point where we're just excited to get somebody signed up. Guys, I'm no longer excited to just get anybody signed up and waste my time. Excuse me, and waste my time. We don't want to do that. So if you're not hungry, if you're not coachable, if you're not willing to learn and put in the right amount of time plus the right activities, I'm passing you to somebody else because I don't have time. And it goes back to the window of opportunity, the golden window we have right now. Guys, Todd and I and David have been there. We've been there where a company has gone from $1 million a month to 10 months later, $10 million. Checks went from $10,000 to $80,000 to $90,000 in a month, a period of time, because again of that golden window. We are entering that golden window right now. So my time can only be focused with people that are hungry, you're coachable, and you're willing to learn. And if that is you guys, those are the people that I'm kind of working with now. And I'm just kind of setting the stage for who I want to work with and putting in the right time with. So, and just before I turn over to Todd, guys, think about this. I've been in this industry 30 plus years. Where do you have a CEO that's opening up his homes all over the country, all over the world for you as leaders to build a team of 188 left, 188 right? Guys, I can assure you, every one of you listening today, live or recording, can get to ambassador. There is no debating that whatsoever. You just got to do what David's teaching, what we're sharing with you today. But opening his homes up, giving his times, I've never been with a company where the CEO pours into people like David's doing. So yeah, this is very special. This is a unicorn moment. And I hope you understand that. I pray you understand that. My whole prayer every night is, guys, give me the words to articulate enough to get people to understand this is the moment that they've been praying for their entire life. Don't miss out on it.
I mean, Daryl, I just want to back up real quick because I love what Mr. David said a moment ago, that his goal is to teach people how to be successful running a business, to bring hope and prosperity all over the world. Guys, what an amazing vision. I mean,
Yeah.
what an amazing way to think about your business, right? I'm not just trying to recruit my neighbor, John. I mean,
Yeah.
guys, you are literally bringing hope and prosperity all over the world. And you don't have no idea how far the ripples of your actions are going to reach, right? I mean, when you recruited Daryl Maria Roberts, I mean, who knew they were going to tell a Danny Seguinal who lives in Canada? And then who knew that he had a buddy, Bryce, and that was going to spread all over, France and Belgium and all through the French Polynesian Islands and the Madagascar reunion. I mean, changing lives all over the world, bringing hope and prosperity all over the world, all because you called a neighbor. But guys, that's what it means to be teachable. When you're teachable and coachable, you can duplicate the business and spread it around the world. But guys, understand that this business is different than the things you've done before. And you see people who come here and they bring the way they want to do it to the business instead of the way that of what's successful. Especially if someone's got a sales background, guys, this is not a sales business. It is a business where you share. It's a business where you want to get people on a Zoom presentation. You want to get them on a travel party. You want to get them at a 2-in-1 for coffee, right? You and your sponsor meet them for a cup of coffee, share the business, but it's better that they hear it from somebody else, especially at first, They need to hear it from somebody else because you're not successful yet. They need to hear it from somebody else. And then they have questions. You get them on the phone with somebody else to answer those questions. You get them on a Zoom. You get them at a travel party. Lots of ways to do that. But see, that's different. It's different than what you've normally done before. So you got to be teachable. You got to be coachable. You got to be willing to learn it the new way. And then, guys, finally, when it comes to learning, it goes right back to, guys, this is a personal development industry with a compensation plan attached. I mean, literally, when people say, what do you do? The truth is that you build people. And if you build people, people will build your business. Again, if you build people, people will build your business. You are in the personal development industry, helping people become a better version of themselves, helping people learn how to run a successful business. And if you do that, your business will take you all over the world and your income will grow dynamically. But it is a monkey see, monkey do business. People are not going to do what you tell them. They're going to do what they see you doing. And so if they don't see you sharing the business, sharing the business, sharing the business, they're not going to share the business. And you can't fool people. You either have the stories or you don't. I mean, like yesterday, right? I mean, we pulled up to the place and we get out of the car and the guy's standing there and Dave's in his Porsche and I got a brand new prospect. You either have the stories or you don't. And you're either sharing, oh my gosh, I just met this guy or this gal. I was on the phone. I bumped into him at the grocery store. You're either going to have those stories. I just got done signing somebody up. I'm going to do a travel party. I got to go do a launch Zoom. They see what you're doing. They're going to hear it. And then they're going to mimic those activities. If they don't see you reading 10 pages of a good book, they're not going to do it. If they don't hear you listen to 15 minutes of positive audio, they're not going to do it. If you're not going to Harlan Hall and listen to his training, they're not going to do it. If you're not getting on Coach D's training, they're not going to do it. If you're not getting on this training today with Mr. David Hart, the CEO of the company, then don't be surprised when your team don't get on. And then eventually they just kind of fall out of the business. They're going to do what they see you doing. You have to be coachable, teachable. You need to bring that hunger for learning, that hunger for becoming a better version of yourself. And there's so many ways to improve. Man, I'm improving my listening. I'm improving my communication skills. I'm improving my ability to articulate like Daryl does. I'm improving my ability to just have conversation and ask better questions. I'm improving my ability to follow up. I'm improving my ability to share on social media. I'm improving my ability to work on TikTok. I mean, there's so many areas to improve, right? And it's biblical, guys. Romans 12:2. Let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. How do you change the way you think? By the books you read, the audios you listen to, the seminars you attend, and the people you associate with. Again, if you associate with 5 broke people, you're about to become the 6th. If you associate with Mr. David Hart, who's buying multi-million-dollar homes all over the world, now those are the kinds of associations I want to hang around with. People that are dreaming bigger dreams. They're having bigger thoughts. They're doing bigger things, because guess what? That's going to rub off on me. That's going to that acumen is going to get into my vocabulary, and then I'm going to spread it to my kids, where my kids are thinking about, man, how do we have successful businesses? How do we take over? How do we build wealth? How do we have multiple properties, multiple streams of income? What an amazing environment you can put your children in, but you have to be teachable. You have to be coachable. That's where it all starts. I think we lost Daryl.
We did. Great job, Todd. Great job. And you got to, I mean, it's a symbiotic relationship. I mean, I don't think we ever stop being coachable or teachable. And so it's a piece that you've got to master. You got to master that, master the mundane. Attend events. I was just thinking in the background, we're talking about attending. In the it's funny I'll say this, but in the late 90s, when I was young in the industry and I wanted to learn the industry, we would have to get up in the morning. We would drive an hour and a half to go to some hotel. We'd pay $25. We'd sit there all day to get trained. To get the level we're giving to you today, to get trained, we would have to, so we'd spend gas money, we'd spend the whole day, we'd have to travel, there was a lunch break, then we'd come back and hear all the training again. And, technology just makes it so much easier to be able to do this. But attending Zooms, attending trainings, attending events, attend by example so people on your team can attend. Again, what you're saying is, hey, you know what? It's difficult at the end of the day to be a prophet in your own land. And so if by example, if you go listen to other leaders trained that are in your upline and you show that by example, guess what your people are going to do? They're going to So it's important that you always promote and teach people to attend events. You attend the event, they attend the event, and you build up that event. So if you're an ambassador on this call, I know that so we have a lot of ambassadors. See Hart and Hall pop down here. Um, you know what? I know a lot of the ambassadors going, dang, I need to have more of my team on this call. My entire team needs to be on this call listening. And we'll do more of these, right? But just remember that this is how you grow and build your business. You got to keep the business in front of people. And so you have to learn how to promote the business. Todd, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, guys, I mean, when it comes to like, if you guys were at the event in Las Vegas, Nevada, some of you are still floating from that event. And it's not just being there with Mr. David Hart, Adela Hart, and hearing all the announcements and the vision of the company. It's not just the incredible instruction that you got from all of the different ambassadors, from Coach D and Cynthia Sly and Eager and Larissa and Harlan and Chris Bailey, all of the ambassadors that poured into you, teaching you what to do, how to become successful. But it's being in a room of like-minded people. It's the thousands of little conversations, and in the the table next to you, walking out of the convention hall, walking down the hallway, being at the masquerade ball, in the bathroom, right? In the lobby, at the coffee shop, right? It's getting around the other like-minded people. It's assimilating that mindset. It's knowing that other people out there think the way you think, right? I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I want to wake up when I'm done sleeping. I want 6 Saturdays, one Sunday. I mean, I want to read books. I mean, some people think you're weird. I mean, I got friends and family. You're reading the book Think and Grow Rich. Why would you read that book, man? We're watching Housewives, man. I mean, sometimes you guys are going down a different path, right? You're taking the path less traveled. And when you get around other people that think the way you think and they've had experiences, oh, somebody quit on you too. Oh, you had that same problem too. Oh, you had that same, I mean, you get around and you feel like, man, these is my tribe. These are my people. This is who I want to associate with. But again, this is part of the assimilation, right? I'm beginning to learn the business acumen. I'm beginning to build the belief, the foundation upon which I will build my business. Because some of you, if it's new, you got friends and family that maybe don't think so highly of what we're doing. Maybe someone told you, oh, that's one of those things. And you kind of go back into your cocoon. You're like the turtle, you go back into the shell. But when you get around enough people and you've been doing it long enough and you're like, man, this is where I want to be, you get bolder, you get braver, you get more confidence, you get more sure of what you're doing and who you're doing. And you get to a place like Harlan Hall today. Hey, I am a leader in Trevorium. And if you want to make some money, call me. That was the advice from Danny Segwinall on stage. But Harlan can say that with conviction and confidence because of where he is and who he is today. He didn't necessarily start that way. At one point, he might have been like everybody else, like, hey, are you in that thing? Yeah, yeah. I just did it for some travel. I mean, you're kind of like, wishy-washy, right? But when you attend the events, you attend the trainings, guys, it gets inside of you. Initially, you're in the business. That's important. The day you join the business is important, but equally important or more important is the day the business gets inside of you. And that can only happen when you're at the meetings, the Zooms, the trainings. And guys, we got Mr. Harlan Hall here. We lost Daryl, and Harlan had sent me a text, David. In fact, Harlan sent me this text. This is what we need right now, right here. Get the realness to everyone. Talk to them, man, the way they need to hear it. And I didn't even know you were on here, Harlan, so I got that text from you. And we lost Daryl. I'm not sure what happened to Daryl. But I thought, hey, let me go grab Harlan. We'll promote him here because Harlan, there's no doubt. I mean, you are going to be a legend in this industry. I mean, Mr. David Hart, I'm quoting him because, man, that guy, he's unbelievable. There's no doubt he's going to be an executive chairman, building a legacy, a massive business. So, Harlan, some of your quick thoughts are based on what we've been talking about.
It's incredible. I like when David started off saying that we're going to go past an hour here, right? And I always say this: the people who really want it, that the time doesn't really matter, right? When you want something and you want to grow, you can't put a time on it. People, I always say, you got to be willing to do what others won't, so you can have what others can't, right? Some people will, be like, oh, I got something to do. Let me drop off this call, or right? Okay, that's great. But then you ask yourself, how do you become an ambassador? It's because I didn't drop off the call, right? Priorities. I just sent somebody a text message. This really would let me know what we're doing and what we have. Everybody on here, listen to this. I'm not feeling too great. I have a migraine. Last night, my head was hurting so bad. I mean, like I was just literally balled up under the covers. And I woke up this morning, and when I woke up this morning, I realized that it was a Saturday, and I woke up this morning to $225 of something that I didn't even do new. It wasn't something that happened new. It wasn't something like I woke up to $225 on a Saturday, and I was sick last night. Didn't do anything new. All right. And I was just talking to another one of our members also, and I said the same thing. I said, she's a 2-star director. I said, do you realize that you didn't do anything new and you woke up to $25 today? I said, and the crazy thing about it is that it's just going to continue to increase as long as you keep plugging in the way that you have. Like that's unheard of, right? Normally you have to do something. You have to trade time. Sick. If you're sick, a lot of times you can't do something, guess what? You won't get paid for it. It won't happen. And this opportunity, and then the fact that it's in the travel space, right? Somebody was talking to me the other day about being tired. It was like, yeah, don't you, you do a lot of presentations. You're always driving to somebody's presentations, always on Zooms, you're always on, like, aren't you tired? I was like, this is, if you want to call this tired, yes. All right, yes, I'm tired. I'll take this type of tired for the rest of my entire life. Talking about traveling, saving money, getting paid to show other people how to save money on travel. Yes. Okay, I'm tired. Yes, if that's what you want to consider tired, I'm tired. All right. But here's the thing, you got to think about it. Monday through Friday, and even some people's weekends, they're being somebody's in control of your life. Somebody's literally in control of whether you feed your family or not. You're not. You're not in control of it. They're telling you what time you need to be there, and then they get to tell you whether you have a job or not. Now imagine if you're making $400,000 or $500,000 a year, and all of a sudden they tell you that's it, we're done, you're gone, you're fired. What do you do? What do you do? Right? And it is. I always say people need to start taking control of their own life. And then don't say that you want something, but you're not willing to do what it takes to have it. I'm just willing to do what it takes to have it. And I can't speak on everybody else, but what I do know is when you ask me that question in Harlan, how do you do it? How do you do it? Having a migraine and being on a corporate call on a Saturday, regardless. How do you do it, Harlan? Connecting with the top leaders. I'm smart enough to see these three on this screen. I'm smart enough to develop a relationship with them to get where it is I want to go. But they can see through the smoke. They can see who really wants it. They're not going to waste their time associating with anybody that doesn't want it. It doesn't align with what they're after. It doesn't align with what they offer. They put in the work already. They've built it already. So I say to myself, listen, lock in with those who have what you want, Harlan, but you have to make yourself visible enough that they're going to give you their time. They're giving all of us their time right now for free. You don't even have to be an ambassador to get their time right there. You're getting it. You're getting it as somebody who just got started. You're getting it as somebody who's a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star. You're getting it. You didn't have to go and build a super relationship with them to get any type of special treatment. We're getting it right now. This is absolutely incredible. So I want to say that this is very moving. I think the people who actually plug in and get everything they need from this, you're going to start seeing your life changed. You're going to see your life change. I watched my life change, and I'm continuous. My wife, this is the last part I'll tell you guys. My wife, she's a government employee, 36 years, 18 years old. My wife got in the government. Never worked another job, right? She got in the government. Same job for 36 years. Sorry, I'm telling your age, babe. But
Yeah.
for 36 years, right?
Be careful, be careful, be careful.
Right. I know.
But you hear that, Gene? I'm not the only one. All right, go ahead, Arlen.
Right. And that's what I was going to say. And then I know if Miss Adela is listening to this, she can be like, Harlan, you don't tell your wife's age on the Zoom calls, okay? All right, I'm sorry. So here's the thing. She never had the mindset outside of working a 9-to-5 job. Never. And it wasn't until the past month that my wife, it finally clicked for her through watching me. Now, we got to remind you, I became an ambassador a year ago. And it finally clicked to her to say, Harlan, you know what? I'm in. I see it. I got it. I watched you. I see how impactful this is. I see how powerful you are. I see what this is doing. I see how this has changed our lives. I see how this helped. I'm in now. So my introverted wife is on all the Zooms. She shows up at all the travel parties. She's on all the corporate calls. She's on all the trainings. And she's always asking me, are you on the training call? 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 And I'm like, wow, this is the same one. And then got now, and you know, I get everybody's always saying, Harlan, do you really have a wife? Because you're always at the events and we never see your wife, right? So now she has her ticket to go to the conference with me in Orlando. And she said, I'm not going to ever miss anything. I'm not missing any corporate event. I'm not missing any training event. I'm going to everything. But it took a minute, but she paid attention a lot. Now, imagine if I didn't set that example for her, where we would be today.
Exactly.
100%.
This is impactful.
And
This is the
Harlan,
best thing.
and
Yeah.
Harlan, I know you're talking about your wife, right? But guys, I want you guys to realize this applies to, it could be your brother, your sister, your cousin, your kids, your neighbors, right? People are watching and people, again, begin to associate, right? And again, when you go to the events and you get on the Zooms, you begin to have that shared belief system, right? Have that shared, level of belief, right? And it's helping people think a new way. But if you start to think a new way and you've never really thought that way before, you get a lot of people trying to drag you back to the old way. And it's easy to go back there until maybe you're hanging out with people that are doing the new way and say, you know what? I don't want to go be part of that crowd. I want to be part of this crowd over here. I like the way they think. I like their positivity and reading books and buying second homes and third homes and residual income and leaving legacies like Ambassador Deborah Taylor. And so I want to be with that crowd. But I mean, Harlan, it was just a great story with obviously your wife because it's your wife, right? But it shows that the process that can happen where they go from one belief system to a new belief system, but it does take some time.
It does. And then, my very last thing, but she watched, it's interesting because her job sent her a notification saying that they may be shutting down her building and they're going to have 5 options of places for them to relocate. We have a grandson that lives here in Maryland. We love this boy beyond belief. We don't want to leave from where my grandson is. It's not going to happen. However, if it wasn't for Trevorium, we'd have to choose one of those 5 options. But we don't have to now because I've already created my wife's income through Trevorium.
Unbelievable. Well, just I don't know what time we talked last night when you called, where you returned my call, and I'm excited talking to you about some of the success, some of the things that are happening. And then I hear this voice, "Hi, Daryl," and it was Michelle, and I have never seen because he was just leaving a presentation that he was done. And we had talked, obviously many times, but over the months that I said, "So did Michelle go with you to these meetings?" And he said, well, no, she doesn't go to the meetings. She takes care of the house and do all of that. So I was pleasantly surprised when she said, hi, Daryl. You were on speakerphone last night. So unbelievable way to grab her and get her to see the vision. And again, leading by example, guys, that is the way your life is going to change. Unbelievable.
Fantastic. Yeah. Our next topic we're going to talk about, the next principle is, Todd, we're looking for Eager and Larissa to have them pop on and say hello like Harlan did. Thank you, Harlan. You're awesome, my man. But I think the world of you. You're just doing a great job, too, in the business and teaching people. Eager's going to come on and share with us, too, at some point today. So look for Eager. Larissa, I know you're listening in. And Larissa's like a few weeks away from baby number 27. I mean, number 7.
Exactly. Eager, raise your hand real quick. So I think you're under, you might be a travel expert or travel leader. There you are, found you.
So, she's, by the way, as powerful as Eager as Larissa's equally as powerful because, she's running a home and with all those kids and she's still hammering to build the business. So I just think the world of them. They're incredible. So success principle number 5, use the service. If they don't use the service, they're not going to stay involved in the business very long. You want to travel, you want to create social proof. Why do you want to do that? People are watching. I've got friends in high school like, my God, David, what do you do? You're traveling all, and I don't travel like Daryl and Todd do, or Eager or Harlan Hall. I don't get to go to all the places they go to, but they see the little travel that I do, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, this is incredible. What are you doing?" And so, obviously we want to lead by example. So that's why we do social proof. You want to lead by example and get on the stories.trevorium.com page. Why do you want to do that? Because you want your story on our website. We'll validate your story. You want as many as your people there on that stories page. It just validates your organization and what you're doing. And we're going to put your story on our public website. Nothing better than that, being able to do that. I'm hoping one day we have more than 1,000 people. So just so you don't know that if you put your story on there, we give you $25 to do it. Then you're entered into a raffle, and once a month we pay $500 to the pick from corporate. I don't pick it. We have a staff that picks it. Our branding officer, along with our top customer service, and I think Josh is part of that decision process, and our graphics designer, Alfonso. So between those guys, they go through it and they pick out the people that the number one, and then we put that out. So it's $500, not bad, right? So people stay in longer when they have the service, right? So that's important. Eager, I asked Eager to come on, wanted to find him. Obviously, him and his wife, combination income as a couple, top income earners in the company. He's been able to do that in about 3 years. He's a tremendous leader in the business, and I love his broken English. He does such a phenomenal job speaking. Just my Dallas is just in the background. Just Eagle's just like my wife. So
Adela, my sister, we
yes,
funny, but we're doing good money.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
funny, but we're doing good money. So Eager, we got you on the call, and I know that you've got a big vision and that you've built huge business. And I know that for you starting out, you always tell the story that it was just about, being able to get some travel. But obviously you saw the vision behind the business, and that changed pretty dramatically. But yeah, I love for you to come on and just kind of bring your perspective on what you see today and share with people.
Yes, David, I like your joke about 27.
Yeah.
You make my day.
Oh my goodness.
You give me blessing.
So when you get a new rank, you have a new baby. That's the deal, right? Larissa make with
Yes,
you.
yes. Yes, that's good. I like this topic. They use the service, what you share now with people, because this really important what you says. Like today we have our like challenge and training we're doing, and we're talking with people, because if we not use our service we can burn out. Like people, if they just jump on the board and they just, even if you're doing just the money here, you don't have enough power to share with people how our service working. So, and to be successful, we need to remember 3 things what we have to do, like positive stuff. Yeah, it's we have to thinking about our business, it is positive. We have to speak about our business as positive stuff. Yeah, and we have to use our service and be positive. So if we will have these 3 things, like thinking positive, guys, you're never gonna be born out, never ever, because it's a like square, or like a round where you will going, from the you speak, think, and use, speak, think, and use, think, and speak. So this is the amazing. And if people lost something, for example, you use our service, and you speak about our company, it's good company, good service, but you're thinking, David is not good boss, Igor is bad leader, or doesn't matter what you will think in bad, that's gonna be destroyed your success. Listen, even if you will say, okay, Igor good, David good, service good, but you're gonna be think, oh, it's not really good what I'm talking about. You will one day burn out, you know. So you need to understand these three things. It's really important for us. So, and service, it's amazing. Like from our experience, I wanna say you 8 years before the Travorium company, we're not going to vacation. We just visit our family, my brother, my mom, but we not go to the vacation like just for vacation. We used traveling for our business. Yes, we was used, but together with family, like 8 years. 8 years. We was just thinking, oh, we live on Hawaii. Why we have to go somewhere? And we on a long-term vacation here, you know. So, but today, guys, I count how many times for these 3 years we was traveling. It's 35 times. 35 times.
Wow.
That's amazing. Every month we travel somewhere, even sometime twice. Twice a month. Of course I'm inspired. Nobody can stop me because I see how everything working. I see how company growing, our service, and especially when Sofia Babinov, she doing the training about our platforms. Listen, guys, every time when I listen Sofia Babinov, I want to join one more time because she knew something exclusive, something, and oh my gosh, and she has like 110% arguments to show like how everything working. So we need to learn our service, our platforms, because even me, like, yeah, I know the God bless me, my wife, but even me, I know maybe just 30% our platforms, how everything working. But like I say today in my training, God give me wife who is know all details, but God give me the stage. I can share with people about succeed and about how everything working. So, and that's really amazing, when you're working as a team, as a family, and of course you're gonna have blessing. But one more time, your service, that's your most bigger point from these three things. Because even some people who collect the points, and they 2 years they never traveling, and they, what they says me, oh, you know what, we not use this membership, probably we gonna be do cancel. I say, hey, just use your service and then do cancel. And they says okay, and when they go and then they use their points, after this trip they come, oh my gosh, we like it, we gonna be continuing working, and we like it, this idea. So that's why, guys, service, it's most important in our business. We have to use our service. I'm done.
But Igor, I'm
You
like
don't have to
you.
be done, Igor. You always have great value to share with people. And Igor does a great job at just talking about the simplicity of our business and why it makes sense. So,
David, if you give me some 1 minute, I want to share with you something.
yes, of course.
Like, listen, guys, about recruiting, about all this stuff, because this is our topic, and we're doing this training like 5 times a day. We're working now with our team everywhere, and I share about the recruiting. Sometimes people waste their time for recruiting people. And you know what I'm doing? My advice to you: every morning when I wake up, I says, God, give me right person who need to share with this opportunity, and who looking for change their like style, their life. So just send me these people in my life and give them this chance through me to be successful in their life. So, and I want to be really honestly with you. Some of them they join, and after maybe months, they do cancel, don't understand what's going on. Some of them they got this chance, and they continue to work, and then they continue to change something. And last my time I was went to the Chicago, and I was pray to God, God, please send me the person who is gonna be like my partner. And when I done with all my trainings, that was amazing training there. We have like 150 people there, and we did like maybe 80. It was a Russian speaker, and 60 probably was English speakers. And Larissa has to be there with me. But you know what she did? She says, it's not she did, the baby did it this. The baby says, I gonna be sit home with Larissa. You have to fly yourself. And when we fly there, we don't have option. We invite English prospects and Russian. So, and what we did, we start to speak English, like presentation, everything. And you know what? Like Oksana, Yelena, Angelica, the people, I says, hey, listen, you have to help me to do this presentation, the English. And listen, they rock. They did amazing job. The people was inspired, and I say, Larissa, that's God plan. You not go with me because we find new rock in our in our team, and these people they did amazing job. And listen, God sometimes doing these circumstances around us, and He wanna help us to move forward, because we need to growing, we need to growing to see success. And we don't need it like afraid. And then listen, I was meet with many different people there, and last guy I was ordered the Uber taxi driver, and I see his name is Denis, and I ask him, oh, do you speak Russian, Ukrainian? He says, yeah, sure, I'm speak. And I ask him, hey, what you doing for life? Just Uber or something else? He says, oh, I'm gonna change something in my life, but I'm try to do part-time Uber and like. And he asked me, oh, what you doing here? I say, I was come here about the travel business. And he says, it's so interesting. Like 2 days ago, like yesterday, we have in our town the travel conference presentation, and I tried to visit this presentation twice myself. And he says I go to the affiche, the announcements, and he says I check and I say, okay, probably it's something weird for me. And he says this information does give me the good sleep. Next day I check again. How can I get to this conference? And he says, I go to GPT chat. GPT chat says, oh, this is company. You need looking for some people and offer them something. And he says, I say, no, it's not about me. I say, but what the company you talking about? He says, just give me minutes. And he was thinking, it's a Travorium.
So that's, hey, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I say him, hey, listen, do you know who you bring with you, who I am? He says, no, I have no idea who you. I say, you remember very good these announcements because that was big flyers, and that was our picture, me and Larissa, and all these flyers. And he says, yeah, I remember. I say, can you move your glasses? This is exactly guy did yesterday this conference. And he said, oh, no way. When he moved his glasses, look at me. Oh my gosh, it's exactly, yeah, this is you. I saw you under these flyers. And I share with him, we start to talk with him, and he a little bit share with me his life, how he going through hard a period of his life. I say, hey, use this chance. Use this chance. This is your chance. And interesting things, he was listen like to next Monday. I do every Monday the presentation. He was sit 2 hours. He listened everything, and on Friday he was joined to this business. And I just want to show you this example. That sometime we need just open mouth and say something, share something. Because people waiting for you.
Yeah.
Just like that's really simple.
Igor,
Because
I just want to jump in. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. But this is the thing that I like about you, what you just said, from a subconscious level, your mind is that your attitude, your subconscious mind, your persona, you said there are people waiting for you. So you expect and you believe and you know before it happens that there are people waiting for you. And that's a big part of finding success. Guys, I hope you understood what he just said. And you need to have that mindset to expect that people are waiting for you because they are. But it requires you to believe that first. It requires you to take action. And Igor is an action taker. I mean, think about coming to the United States and living here with his limited ability of English, right? It's way better today than when I first met him, right? Like we would have conversations. He'd tell me stuff all wrong, and I'd be like, Igor, what are you saying to me? I don't even fully get what you mean. Remember, Igor? True, huh? And that's like me and Adela. We first got married. She's like, "Oh, I'm just like Igor."
David, Adela understands me better than
Oh,
you.
totally
She's
understand
my
you.
sister.
Yes, of course. So, you just your mindset is right, your attitude is right, your persona is right. You believe that there are people waiting for you. And as weird as that may sound to some of you, I'm here to tell you that that is part of finding success. Is to believe in first before things come, right? It's to yet believe in things before they come. We call that faith, to believe in things not yet seen. And, as we continue, we're adding more ambassadors on the call. I mean, obviously, each one of these ambassadors on this call, they could take this system and they could run a 2 or 3 hour training and do a phenomenal job. And they would say it a little bit different, but it's all the same. There are our mindsets and the way we believe in business, the way we believe in our action steps, how we prioritize our calendar to be successful is all the same. Like Igor's calendar is prioritized. He knows his Zooms he's going to do. He knows when somebody calls, he's picking up the phone. He knows where he's going to be in October. He knows the events he's going to. Todd Strand knows when he's going and what he's doing for the month of September. They prioritize Daryl Roberts 100%. He's in the hospital, but Daryl Roberts is on the Zoom. He's in the hospital, guys. Just had a major surgery. He's on the Zoom. Harlan Hall he's on our Zoom. He's a 1-star ambassador, but he's on our Zoom. Larissa's in the background. She's on the Zoom, right? They're learning, they're training, whether they're learning something new that they could share with their team, or what they're hearing is reconfirming how they build their business, right? So even leaders have to get around other leaders and be inspired to continue to do what they do. It's so key. Dale Roberts, you guys go on your trips, like you go to, I think it's Orlando, get the three bedroom place. I see you doing the video on that. You guys you guys travel all over the place. You don't even share half of the travel you do on social media.
And David, that helps us recruit people. I got Herbert Ball because of one of those Orlando trips. After we showed the 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, that one was like $249, and we showed the whole place. The balcony was so big you can actually even play cornhole on it. The 3 golf courses, Jack Nicklaus golf courses running through the property, a 5-acre water park, about 20 minutes from Disney. After he saw that, he texted me, Daryl, I'm ready to sign up. So use this service, lead by example. People stay when they use the service. People join when you use the service. David, I got to say goodbye. I've got 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock rock. Sound like the Happy Days show, right? And then we got 6 o'clock tonight. So we've got like 7 Zooms we're
Go
doing
get it
back to
done.
back. So I will see you guys later. I hope we can do this at least once a month. And Maria, you guys talking about the platinum value? You want to do it? Maria did the university.
About the value of the
Yeah, the value of the platinum membership, guys. It's at the university. that David put together, it has that and it shows you that. It's also at theplatinumvalue.com as well. But guys, thank you so much, David. I hope we can do this a lot more.
Absolutely. So absolutely. So look at Daryl's schedule, Zooms on the hour all day long. So and that's that's somebody that prioritized their business. I mean, 100%. I don't even have to see Igor and Larissa's schedule, but I know that their schedule's the same. They're passionate about what they're doing. They're helping people on their team succeed. They're out front, running the company, running their company, running their business. So Igor, I appreciate you coming on and sharing. You always bring great insight. I remember when we were in
Welcome.
Kazakhstan and you were doing the presentations, and so were thousands of people in the room, and I'm in the front row, and I typically like to sit in the back row, but the Kazakh people put me in the front row, so I'm front and center. And Adele and I were there, and I think it was Astana. Remember the big meeting in Astana? And I don't really, we don't speak Russian, so we don't know exactly what you're saying. But one thing that I would say is that I have no idea what he's saying, but I could see the PowerPoint presentation and the slides come up, so I could kind of follow along. But the one thing that I did notice was that his passion and how he was saying things and his tonality was like purposeful. It was, you knew that he believed in what he was saying. And that's another part of being successful. Like when you talk to Igor, like when I have conversations with Igor privately and we're chatting, you know that he believes in Trevorium. Like he doesn't waver in the opportunity. You can hear it in his language and his tonality and his posture in the business. And I think that's a big part of why he's successful. And Igor, I appreciate you saying what you said because
Appreciate you, Mr. David.
because I'm like, this is what people need to hear, right? If they want to be successful in Trevorium. And it's how you say it. It's like pulling out the subconscious level of what you just said, it's so powerful to think that there
David,
are people that
when
need
people,
yeah.
you says that you're talking about right things, but when people start to believe, when you visit conference, when you use the services, when you will believe. So the Mr. David, he not like me first time, and I not like him, like not first time, but he liked me first time, be honestly. But
Of course.
but listen, that's normal, guys. You have to realize, when I find out their family, business, the thoughts trend, all leaders, I was believing this company. And when people says me, oh, this bad, this not work, hey, I not listen them because I saw myself. I'm talk to them, I work with them, so this is the important part, and of course, when you will go on a stage, if you use and if you involved in the life the company, you're gonna be believe and you're gonna be strong, nobody can like move you from your way, nobody, nothing, because you 100% positive believe everything work. Like, today I say to people, hey, listen, I'm not perfect. I don't have enough hair. I don't have six pack. I have just one pack. I have many,
We call
many
it an OPAC. I got an OPAC.
of yeah, yeah. But my wife, she loved me. She loved me because I have a lot pluses than minuses. So same our company. We have a lot pluses to believe this company and to work in. Special, we have amazing couple, Mr. David and Adela Hart.
Thank
Okay,
you, Igor,
thank
for
you,
that.
Mr. David.
All right. So next step, I want to talk about personal development. And man, and so what we need to do, guys, constantly, all of us, including me, is change our thought process all the time, because the battle that you fight to be successful is really not with other people. It's really you versus you. And so it's important that you're plugged into reading books, that you're going to trainings, that you're listening to podcasts, you're taking notes, you're listening to Jim Rohn. somebody brought up Jim Rome earlier. You know, whoever a mentor that you can plug in with in personal development help change your mindset, and do it, lead by example. Todd Strand's always preaching this. You know, read 10 pages of a good book. You know, getting on podcasts. What books are you listening to on audio when you're working out, right, Todd? What trainings are you going to? I called Todd up the other day and said, "Hey, buddy," like I called him up on a Wednesday and I said, "Tomorrow at noon, I'm going to go to a training, a business coach training class. Do you want to go?" He dropped his schedule and said, "I'll go." And for me, I could only stay for what, 40, not even, I guess 45 minutes because I had a prior appointment. So we got to go network and talk to some people. And Todd, of course, he's prospecting people at the event too, like naturally. But then he plugged in for 2 or 3 hours because it's like, hey, personal development, I can learn. And the speaker that was speaking is considered one of the top 25 business coaches in the country. He's opened up for President Trump at the RNC in Las Vegas. He mentors Brian Tracy and a lot of other top leaders. And so we got to hang out and spend time with him. And you know what? We listened to we both watched his training. I got about 40 minutes for I to go. And I'm just taking notes, like, right? That's called a CLUE, guys, a clue. And a lot of his stuff I just heard, but then there was things that I heard in the way that he put it together. Like, oh, I could tweak the way I say this because I like that approach, right? We're always learning. Constantly learning. So personal development. If we do it and we lead by example, so what do? Todd Strand's my recruit. I'm at the event, Todd. This is a true story. Was it this week, Todd? Yeah, it was this week, right? Or was it last week? I don't even, this last week.
This past week we went to that event.
Yeah. So I called up my downline. I said, "I'm going to this event. Do you want to go? I will be there." Guys, we still do it at this level. Do you understand? We still do it. This is an opportunity. Next time we do one of these, and Daryl brought up, like, hey, maybe we do this once a month. I like the idea. I like popping on other ambassadors and hearing their perspective too. We have 2 more ambassadors that are going to talk today. And I just texted them out of the blue. I said, "Hey, are you on the training?" And they're like, "Of course I'm on the training." And
Yeah, we got Danny Segwinal, Deborah
yeah,
Taylor.
I'm gonna have Danny come on and talk a little bit about personal development. I know Todd. You know what? I'm gonna have Todd just take a backseat on this. He's phenomenal in this success principle right here. Todd, you can kind of fill in after Danny talks. Danny as well, but it's what I like is the personalities of listening to other people's perspective, and what you hear from all this is that every ambassador, I know Chris Bailey's on here too. We want to get him on as well. You hear from different ambassadors that all these things that we're talking about today resonate with all of them. And that's why they're successful. So I think Danny's still over in Europe. He's winding down on a world tour in Budapest. Are you in Budapest, Danny?
That's right. That's right.
And by the way, if you haven't, this would be one of the best world tours to go on. The town is the city's full of just amazing history. The hotel is like 5-star, 5 diamond, right, Danny? It's like out of control. And you just finished up, you're finishing up, you're doing a world tour and you're actually doing a training. You're doing the training, your ambassador training there.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyways, a little bit on personal development. Here's the other thing, Danny, what time is it over there?
Right now it's 8 p.m. I'm actually with the beautiful Sandra over here, Ambassador Sandra from France.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
Sandra.
Hi, I'm Sandra, French ambassador, and I want just to, comment tu dis, dire,
I would say.
I just want to say, ambassador training Budapest is amazing. Sorry for my English; it's very, very, very little. I speak a very little English, but just amazing, amazing.
Yeah, thank you, Sandra.
Awesome.
So we have a bunch of partners. Like Kristen Lameau that's here with me, and then we have a bunch of other partners in the back. We're getting ready to go out to have dinner here in the hotel right now. So it's 8 p.m. Yes, the hotel is amazing. But to piggyback on what David just said, the personal development, the idea, I don't know who came up with it, but thank you for the whole world tour ambassador training. It is definitely one of the number one trip I think people should do. When people earlier we mentioned about being using the product, using the services. If you're going to use the services, come on an ambassador training. That's when you get to meet other partners and people that are really serious to build the business, and you get to learn. And I think it's more of the quality time that we get to spend with the partners, right? Because it's a small community. Maybe you're 20, you're 30, you're 50, but being able to talk to you. So what I did with the people that were here, I asked them a question. I said, listen, I could do a training. Like you guys hear me do trainings all the time, but I want to know what you need to succeed. What is it that you think you need to get to the next level? So then I got everybody to write down their questions, through every single question. What makes people feel like they're not succeeding or they're not getting better? And you know what? It goes.
Internet connection. Doesn't matter where you go in the world, when you're at a hotel, the internet sometimes is great and sometimes it stalls.
Yeah, just go, hey, how you doing? Get back to me. I really want to share something with you. But the people that were here, they were like, Danny, we don't go through on people. We're afraid. We're judging. We're afraid to send them out a message or invite them on a Zoom. I said, why could you be afraid to invite someone on a Zoom? You just simply ask them, are you open to making more money? Are you open to travel for less? Yes or no? Guys, that's the only question you need to ask every time you talk to someone is, are you open to opportunity? Are you open to save on your future travel? Yes or no? And do not worry if they say yes or they say no. It doesn't matter, but just get it done. Because if you don't, somebody else will. Somebody else will talk to them. And then they'll be in the business and you're like, oh, I should have talked to X, Y, Z. So one of the biggest issues is that people are afraid. So reading books, being on Zoom calls like this, personal development. You mentioned Zig Ziglar and all these people. I listened to those guys forever, but I never really could understand what they were saying until I'm actually in a business like this one. And now I understand how important it is to elevate the mindset, elevate when you talk to people. I was actually earlier, we were just doing some videos and we're talking in the hall here at the hotel. And then some guy just came up to me. He's like, who are you? What are you guys doing? Right? I said, listen, I'm doing a training right now. I can't talk to you right now. Let me talk to you later on. But being able to just talk to people, our business is very, very, very simple, but you have to get out in your own way. You have to get out in your own way. You have to become you have to be ready for the success that's going to come your way. Right? If you want to become a 1-star, you have to be ready to be a 1-star. You want to become a 2-star. What do you think a 2-star or a 3-star or a 4-star have to go through? How many people you have to talk to? How comfortable do you need to be about the services and the business that we have? You have to mentally be ready to do these things. You have to tell yourself, listen, I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to go to an ambassador training. Look at the calendar. It's written in bold, right? In world tours, you can see the ambassadors that you're connected to. Say, okay, when is he or she is doing a training? When can I put that in my calendar and I'm going to attend that? The event that we had in Las Vegas was an amazing event, and I can't wait for the next event because you get to hear, just like David mentioned, sometimes you hear somebody else say something, and then you go, you know what? I never heard it that way, right? I've never heard it that way. And that way, I'm comfortable in saying it that way. For example, when I was in Vegas, when I said, let's go get this money, it's a simple phrase, but for some people it resonated. You're right, Danny. Let's go get the money. Let's go and get it, right? It sounded like as if it was something new. Everybody knows you make money with your volume. Come on now. But just the fact I said it in a certain way, I said, let's go get this money. There's money to be get. Let's go and get it. People cannot travel if they don't have the money to travel. So let's not be afraid to talk about that. But you have to get out of your way. You have to get out of your way. And to do that, you need to read the books. You need to listen. You need to come on calls like this. Listen, guys, I'm in Budapest right now. I'm dressed up. I got partners. We're waiting to go out for dinner. And I was David texted me, said, "Oh, you're on the call." While I was getting ready, the phone was on speakerphone so I could listen to the call the whole time, right? The whole time. I said, I'm listening to him. He said, Danny, can you come on? Yeah, I'm coming on. I can't miss a training. It doesn't matter if I'm in Budapest, if I'm in Dubai, Abu Dhabi. I can't miss a training because I don't know what I'm going to hear. I got Holland Hall texted me earlier. He's like, oh, Danny, shoot me your number. I'm so happy I got to meet that guy. That guy's amazing. I was so happy to meet a bunch of ambassadors in Doha, right? And just sit down with the leaders and just listen. How do you see things? How do you approach certain things and just be able to share and see like, okay, well, when someone said this, what do you see, Danny? Or well, when someone said this, between us leaders, we're learning. We are learning amongst ourselves. And the number one thing is we want to help everybody learn what we learn so that you guys can win faster. And you cannot win faster if you're not plugged in. You cannot become a better person if you're not connected to listen to the roads that we go through. When we go through something like when David or Todd or Daryl, by the way, Daryl, big ups, man. You guys just come out of the hospital, man. You're like Superman. Like what better example of having someone just come out of surgery and being on the call? There's people coming up with so many excuses every day. This guy is literally just come out of the hospital and he's on the call.
Still in the hospital.
He's still in the hospital. Jeez, he's still in the hospital and he's on the call. Those are the people you want to look up to and follow, right? So when someone talks to you about like, oh, I don't know about this opportunity, say, who are you listening to? Who are you listening to, right? What can you do for me? This opportunity changes life and it keeps changing lives, right? So Travoim is the vehicle is there. We have everything in one. When I'll say this last thing. When I think about Travoim, yes, there's travel. Travel is great. Travel is good. It's awesome. But I couldn't go to Doha or Dubai, all these places if I didn't make any money, right? So Travoim is travel. Travoim is money. But Travoim also is experience, and you get to become the better version of you. You get to be part of a community. How many people in your lives right now are helping you get to the next level? It's a family, it's a community. We learn with each other and we grow with each other. So the value that we get is way more than the price that we pay. The value that we get is way more, okay, than the money that we pay for this. So personal development, very important. As you grow into the business, you will grow as a better person and you will attract more people. As you grow into the business, you'll become a better person and you'll attract better people in your life, right? They say we are the average of the 5 people around us. That's not me saying it. It's other people saying it. So look who's around you. Who can help you become a better person? Who's going to get you the 6-figure income? Who's going to make you travel all over the world? Who's going to put you in a situation where they're there to help you? Do you have those kind of people around you? If not, guess what? Now you do because you're part of Travoim. On that thought, I'm going to give it back to you. I'm going to go do some more training here. Oh, your mic's off. I'm going to do some more training. I got Sibel here. I got my 3-star Sibel here.
Hey, Sybil.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Good.
Hey, you guys having fun?
Yeah. Okay. It's wonderful.
Oh, there you go. Hart, there it is.
you're doing an amazing.
Yeah, Danny froze on us again, guys. But we'll get Danny back in a moment with you. But guys, I love what he said. It's a community, guys. We're a family, a community of people.
If David gets a bill for the extra hour, let me know.
Hey, Danny, thank you for coming on and have fun in Budapest.
All right, thank you.
Hey, when do you get back, buddy?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Exactly. Guys, that's what freedom looks like, right? When you coming back? I don't know. Great answer. But guys, he talked about a community, a family. Value that we get is more than what the price we pay. Become a better person, become a better version of yourself. You'll attract better people. And also, guys, you just mentioned how many people around you right now are trying to make you better. How many people around you right now are helping you stretch, dream bigger, become a better version of yourself, right? Again, you start thinking about like, wow, I mean, I put it that way. I mean, not many. Hey, I want to get to Ambassador Deborah Taylor, Ambassador Chris Bailey, and Pastor Paul and Donna Scales. If you guys all come on and just kind of maybe share some of your thoughts here. I know we've been on here for over 2 hours now. It's been a marathon. I mean, you guys that are on here, incredible, absolutely incredible. But guys, you've been listening to Daryl and Harlan and Eager and Larissa and obviously Mr. David Hart. I mean, some of your thoughts about the call so far today.
All right. So if Deborah Taylor, you want to go? Oh.
Well,
Well, I had to go out. I got contractors up here in Big Bear doing stuff. We got all kinds of stuff getting done. So
well, since I'm the only female, I really want to talk about it from a female perspective on personal development. I know that because I train women and because I am a spiritual life and business coach as well, in network marketing, women rule the world in network marketing. We are a big portion of network marketers, and in Trevorium, we a lot of the ambassadors, a lot of the field are women, and so I've been doing some studying around that, and so a lot of our personal development, but we have, as women, we have so many things that we have to work with, and so as I'm listening and I'm hearing everything that has been spoken today, all of that touches us, but as women, we have some particular personal things that we have to deal with. We have to deal with our homes. We have to deal with our children. We have to deal with our husbands. We have to be caregivers. I mean, there are all sorts of things that we have to move and we have to shift. So a lot of times women take the risk, and a much greater risk in network marketing. We make it easier in some cases to even for our men to move in this realm. And so if you are a woman who, such as myself, who is a leader in network marketing, if you are a strong, I guess you would say a strong woman, you're often looked at differently. And I just want to say to the women out there, keep pushing. I mean, we have a lot of women, and it is very important to be on these calls. I'm on these calls all the time. I encourage my team to be on this call. I see a lot of the people who are on my team that's on this call. It's just important to do that. When I came into this business, David often says I had so many things going on, not only as a woman, but as a mother, as a wife, especially, that he really didn't think I was going to be able, because I had so many things going on in this business, and starting the business, that he didn't think that I would become as phenomenal as I am. I'm a phenomenal woman. Y'all know that poem, Phenomenal Woman I Am? Right. He didn't think I was going to become a phenomenal ambassador, right? But here
I think
I
the story
am.
is that you never judge a book by its cover.
Yes.
And then we all have different seasons in our life. And you were in the middle of a season, coming out of a season, but you grabbed a hold of the business opportunity, and timing became right. And
Yes.
so for a lot of people, Deborah, when we share the business with people, I always say that it's about timing. It's never about you personally when somebody tells you no, right?
Yes.
So when you and I spoke in Atlanta that time, it was just about just creating a relationship, because timing was maybe not right. But through that conversation, you were excited about the business and you found peace. And so when you went back to the hospital, you were calling people, talking to them about the business.
Yes.
So, so that it's just a case in point. It is about a relationship. And you are phenomenal to go through what you went through, the trials and the tribulations, and you are a powerful woman and you are strong in business. And when you look at your network, you have amazing people in your business that you did not know. You don't know.
Yes.
You didn't know Paul Scales, Chris Bailey, Harlan Hall, but through relationships, they showed up. And guess what? Our comp plan says that because they showed up in your genealogy, they're part of your network.
Yes.
And the beautiful thing is that yes, if you wouldn't have led first to get the business rolling, then maybe they don't ever see the business because of the relationships. But the power of network marketing is this. This group of men, you could quit today and they're still going to do the business.
Yes.
Running the show within their networks. They're building their teams and they're doing it because they see something in it for them and for the people they're impacting in their network. And they are true leaders. They're running
Yes.
the show in their business. They're doing it. So, you know, that's the beauty of our network. That's the beauty of network marketing. When you find the right
Yes.
type of business that attracts people to it and the right leadership and culture that cares about people, great things will happen. And you can create legacy. And sometimes when you get strong leaders in your network, like a Chris Bailey, uh, uh, um, like
Paul.
Anna and Paul, right? You
Yes.
get out of the way and you say, go do your thing. I want to support you, love on you, whatever I can do to help you, I'm going to help you. But I recognize you as a leader and I know that you know how to call the play. So let's work
Yes.
together, but go do your thing. And I appreciate everything you're doing. And one of the things is because you've been in our company, how many years have you been here?
B8.
The 8 years. So in your network, 6, 7 years later, tremendous leadership shows up, right?
Yes.
So, and you could never take away uh, in our business. I mean, 70% of our company is, if I had to do the math, is most likely women. And they're running the plays too. They're building the business, and that's kind of predominant in the network marketing space. So I know that we have a big event coming up here next week. We're going to have the women's conference. So that should be pretty great. I want to get Paul and Chris to come on and share here in a second, but I just want to say something about the women's conference. We planned for 50 to 75 rooms. That was the goal. And it's at 190 rooms. Right. So we're hundreds of $1,000s over budget because what our company does is we had the opportunity. I decided to invest money and buy down the rate well below, the savings that we offer, which are typically 70% off the retail rate is kind of what you're looking at when you use your travel points. We want to be able to save you anywhere from $8 to $1,000 on each world tour you book. And then on top of that, we have our instant savings that you guys see, right? So it's tremendous value in that. But for that trip, we went way beyond in terms of investments. Miss Adela's flying in. She's going to be speaking during the luncheon. And I'm excited to do it. I'm excited because I know that some incredible things are going to come out of that. So, Deborah Taylor, you were definitely creating a legacy. I know that you were listening earlier. And one of the things that, you and I spoke about, it must have been a year or two ago, is the fact that well, I told you, I said, you understand what you're doing with your granddaughters, right? You are showing them by example what it takes to be an entrepreneur and a business owner. I mean, obviously you've got it set up with guys' business to be left to them someday. And your guys are doing amazing things with that. And they already can pitch the deal. They know how to pitch Trevorium, right? But
Oh,
one of the things, one of the most powerful seeds that you probably won't see fully bloom because of our age, right? Is when they become adult business women and the impact that you will have in their lives moving forward one day when you're not here. Why do I know that? Because I experienced the same thing with my grandfather. And so, that's part of that's part of the business that you can't put a dollar value. You can't put a value on it. because all of these leaders here on this call, they're painting and stroking valuable lessons for their kids, their grandkids, cousins, the people that are around them
Yes.
on how they operate, what their mode of operation is. They're sowing seeds of being focused, sowing seeds of being an entrepreneur, sowing seeds of personal development, the way that they talk, the way that they act, staying focused, their calendars, building up, seeing it before you achieve it. So it's a symbiotic relationship in network marketing, and your business builds, and a lot of times we want to take credit for all the great things that are happening in our network. And really, I always believe in humble leadership. And I think the greatest thing that we could say as leaders, hey, I got in first. And because I got in and stayed focused, people that are phenomenal have showed up in my network, right? And they're calling the play and running the play. So one day, decades to come, maybe your grandkids, right? We'll be the leaders running the deal 20 years from now. So, and I believe all things are possible. So, Chris Bailey, wanted you to come on and talk a little bit about personal development and just your perspective. And of course, Paul, I want you definitely to chime in. And before I get on with Chris, Paul, and you're coming up, but I didn't fully know your full story, but I got to hear it. I was in the back channels hearing your story. On your truck from 3-star director and your wife being in the hospital and then pushing on to become an ambassador. And, a little bit about, it's so worth it to go forward and do it and push forward. But both of you guys are accomplished in the industry, and I'm proud of what you're doing. And I know that this is just the beginning for both of you guys. And by the way, I saw your videos on you guys talking about me in Doha or whatever in Ritz Carlton. I seen you guys online. I'm snooping around. I'm watching, and if I'm watching, all kinds of people got to be watching, right? So, yeah, take it over. Let's go ahead, Chris, and then
All
we'll finish
right,
up.
man. Thanks so much for this Super Saturday.
It's what's turned into, right?
Right. Man, look, I just been taking a lot of notes, and I just want to touch on some of the stuff, and it all comes to personal development, right? Because how we all think alike, and look, make no mistake about it, before I got in the industry, I did not think this way. It's being on these calls, being at the trainings, never missing a convention, how we all think alike, because I've been taking some notes. So I'm gonna go down my little notes and just hit on some points. And Paul, I'm taking because my dog might be ready at the groomer, so I'm waiting on that call any second. So the first thing was when David Hart mentioned that people are waiting on the call from you. I always text my team, before a presentation, and I always say, "Hey, listen, somebody's sitting there waiting for you. They're praying for an answer. They're waiting for something. They're waiting for you to call." So that when you said that, that really touched me, and I'm like, see, we industry people, we think the same. And then when Igor was talking about the trip, man, that trip in Doha, right, what Danny Saganoff was talking about. And we had the great Paul Scales, we had the Dr. Phyllis Turry, and there were other ambassadors, the amazing Keith Brown, right? We were all coming together, and it was just amazing. That trip was so amazing. That trip was so amazing that me and Alicia made a video for you, David Hart, that whenever she sends it to you, you're going to get it. But and I literally, I've been sick for the past week, can barely even talk, but I got on our team training the other night and just told everybody, you got to go on these trips, right? The trips are everything. You got to be a product of the product because your belief level will skyrocket once you go on these trips. And that trip was just one of the best. I would have never been to Qatar in my life if it wasn't for this membership. It was never on my list, but now that turned out to be one of the best vacations I've ever had. All right, so wanted to touch on that real quick.
Man, I want to go to Qatar.
Yeah. Oh.
I want to go to Qatar because you went to Qatar.
Oh.
And I own the company. Because of your guys' experiences, I want to go. I'm like,
man, that was one of the best trips I've ever been on in my entire life. Right? Oh my God, that thing was amazing. That Ritz Carlton, Oh my God, that thing was everything. So you're going to get a video coming soon. All right, the next thing, Harlan talked about this, right? Harlan said, you know, he was sick last night and he woke up to his $225 a day. Well, here's what Chris Bailey's been. I was gone to Qatar for a week, and because of the time difference, I was doing no Zooms. I jumped on one Zoom, and that was it. Um, but I was gone, so I've been out of pocket for a week. Then came home and got a cold on the airplane. So I've been out of pocket. And matter of fact, I'm still today. I'm just getting up for the first time, and I want to thank Dr. Barrett for doing the presentation I do every Saturday because I couldn't do it this morning. But I've been out of pocket for another 7 days. So for 2 weeks, I've been completely down. No Zooms, no presentations, no trainings, no nothing. Right? Chris Bailey been in witness protection. But here's the cool thing. During my witness protection, I still keep getting that $140 a day as an ambassador, right? Keep getting the overrides from all these signups that are still happening, whether with or without me. And then the other part was I got 3 bonus checks from the company, right? Them global bonus pools, right? So guys, that's the power of real residual income. And I say real residual income because I've been around the block. Some of these companies ain't paying real residual income, right? So that's the beauty of this amazing comp plan. And the last thing I wanted to say before I jump off is David Hart, I want to thank you because I've been a victim, right, of what you've been talking about. Man, every company I've been with and making a run to go hit the top, and even one I was at the top of the company, couple of, making this top money, but that only lasted about 3 months before the company made these changes and it was gone. Went to another company, boom, 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 and it was gone. Went to another company, right? And y'all even know one of the companies. I was on the run going to the top, and that's why I got meet Paul and Donna Scales, and that's where we locked arms for life. But I was on the run. Company went out of business. I need a company, and Todd Strand may remember this. As soon as I started working this business seriously, we had a Zoom for an hour and a half, and I said, Todd, all I want to know is this company going to be around for years? Because I'm tired. Right? I'm tired of running with the company and they disappear. And man, just to be able to meet your sons and knowing that they're going to be running the company, man, I feel so good that my flag is planted. That this is the company, and God saved the best for last. That's the beautiful part about it right now. I'm so glad all those other companies failed because if they didn't, I wouldn't be here today. So thank you guys. That's all I got to say.
And you know what, Chris, too. So they are all of our. We have 4 adult kids that are in the development side of our company, running the day-to-day operations. 4 of them, 4 adult kids, and they do world class. I mean, they had to earn it. They didn't because their last name's Hart doesn't mean that they just are giving it to them. They prove it every single day. So I guess my point is though, but I'm not, one day they're going to run the company. I'm still here loving what I do. I've got a few decades left in me. So just to clarify, but they're part of the process. So Paul,
I was gonna say, Chris read a stat real quick a moment ago. I just thought it was really good. I never heard it to the other day from your boy Adam Morrow. He talked about going on a vacation and then coming back and having more money in his bank account than when he left. And I read a stat just the other day that 45% of all people that go on vacations, meaning the people that can afford to travel, go in debt. They come back to, I got a lot less money and I'm in debt than when I left, where people here are going on vacation in Qatar, coming back, I got more money in my bank account than when I left. And that's just such an incredible way to live. And you threw that, and I never heard it till the other day when Adam brought it up. And I thought, man, then you kind of brought it up. Like, wow, that's a important point. I don't want everyone to kind of miss that point. Sorry, Mr. David, keep going there.
oh no, that's good stuff. Hey, one of the new world tours that we're adding in 2026, I just popped in my brain, is we're going to be at the Sheraton Mall in Dubai, world class. So it's like check it out online when you get a chance. So, and that'll be coming up 2 or 3 times in 2026. I think 3 times we're going to do it in 2026. And so what you realize is, so we set up these world tours and sometimes they go crazy. Like next year in Doha, I think is going to be out of control. Like, because everybody's watching your guys' videos, right? And so, um, the power of our world tour platform is that you're not, you can go in a couple a year, right? But we do 150 of them a year. And there's people going all over the world, thousands of travelers that are traveling every single year. And it's all out on social media and whatnot. You know, there's going to be some tremendous places that like, hey, maybe I want to go there next year. I want to go check that place out. Like, I think Honduras is like one of the destinations I want to go to. So now I want to go to Honduras and I wanted to go to Doha. I mean, I got like two places now. Paul's shaking his head, yes, because Paul, I know you've been to both those places. I need to get, that's incredible, right? You got two memberships, your wife's and yours. You guys are working those points, but you're a brand new ambassador in our company with ambassador legs below you. And just kind of want you to, share from your perspective why it's worth it here at Trevorium.
Well, David, thank you so much for having this company, number one. And why is it worth it to me? I've been in network marketing and I've been in a few different companies, but I'm telling you, you are a true leader and a true businessman in this company, man. We have a lot of respect, and we know that we're in a company now that we actually can go out and tell people that it's going to be here because ever since we started, we seen your family and every one of your family members in this business at every training event that we came to. And I'm telling you, they just great people. And number one, to surround yourself around a company with great people, it's easy to come and join. But with your world tours that you have came up with is incredible, man. I'm telling you, we did other companies with what they call day trips, but to be able to have the value that you put in a trip and to stay at that uh, um, place that we just came from in Qatar at the Ritz-Carlton, man, was first class. When I say first class, I mean to be able to eat at the steakhouse for lunch every single day and have options to be able to eat at different restaurants. And my wife just fell in love. I'm like, I never knew anything about Doha, but I'm telling you, it's on our bucket list to go back. So I'll be glad when you make another world tour there. But right now, we're going to focus on the business, becoming an ambassador in this company. It gave me a more security in my life because, going to, I retired from working in the workplace, and I was an investor in real estate. But becoming in this company, it gave me an opportunity to come back from Doha and have my house paid for, so my wife will never have to worry about a mortgage in the house that she stay in. And that came from you, Mr. Hart, from letting us join your company and go out and market your business. Because when she came home and she didn't know if she was going to have a job, it gets real picky with people when you work for somebody for over 35 years and you don't have the age to get a retirement check. But every single day, Mr. Hart pays us a residual stream of income. See, I don't know about y'all, but that's incredible to get in a company and to make well over $100,000 and go through a few different things in your life while you're doing it. Mr. Hart, I am so excited about being a part of Trevorium. Trevorium is what I talk about every single day. And I want to get in front of somebody and tell them, look, it's a great way to be able to save on travel. But the better thing is a great way to be able to help other people out here find a way to make a living to take care of their families and take care of their responsibilities. And no better person to learn it from than yourself, man. I mean, every time I seen you, you've been the first act, man. Every time I see Mr. Hart and his wife, man, you take the time out to speak to people, take pictures with people. All those things are so important when you see the CEO of a company, man. I work for companies and we seen the CEO or the owner of the company maybe once a year, and that was for like 2 seconds. But I mean, to be able to come and, fellowship and be with you and your family at these events and at the training events. Like, we're trying to get everybody in our organization at least to come attend the training in Orlando, Florida, because we are super excited about being in Troy.
Well, you're a tremendous guy. You've done some incredible things, Paul, too. So, and you know what? It's interesting. You've had people go ambassador before you, right? But that didn't deter you. It actually inspired you, right? So, and it's never where you start, but always how you finish.
Yeah.
And
Well,
and
Mr. Hart,
I just I just want to say this, that it's a lot of times people get so caught up in looking at what other people have, what other accomplishments they have, what they're acquiring, what they've done. But you know what? It's not about other people. You need to run your own race. You got to stay in your lane. This battle of moving and changing careers is not easy. You get stuck in a grind, in a set of what you're doing life in, life out, and you're not improving in your ability to communicate. You're not adding on new skills. You're just caught up in life, right? But you just ran your race. You didn't look at what people in your downline was doing, and you cheered them on. You running your race, and today you're an ambassador. People, stay in your lane, run your race. It's not greener on the other side of the fence. The grass is not greener. It's not. Your success in Trevorium is about what you do and about how you develop yourself. And don't prejudge your actions, your success, your milestones on other people. We're all at different levels, right? They say the quality of your communication controls the quality of your life. Well, guess what? If the quality of your life is not like what you see around you, work on you. Work on your communication skills. Work on what you think inside your brain when somebody tells you no. How do you, when a challenge comes, how do you react to that challenge? Work on changing that internal thought process so that you can have a different outward approach and a different outward action or results. So I sit from the other side, Paul, and I see your attitude and how you approach things. And every time we've met, and I watch you across the room with your teams, and you're a class act. And
Thank you.
understanding that you guys went through some challenges. Wife had a heart attack. I didn't know all that stuff. And then you made the decision, I'm going to go on and become an ambassador. I love to hear it, to see, to hear you're debt free. I knew something's
Yeah.
going on because in our company, which is different than the MLM space. I'm going to share this story, and Deborah Taylor too. I have had to do this with Deborah Taylor and Phyllis Terry, Dr. Phyllis Terry, who's going to talk too. All three of them, they don't take money out of their wallets. So a couple times a year, our company says, we're not keeping your money. It's a liability. I owe that money. Like other MLM companies will keep your money for as long as they can because they're robbing Peter to pay Paul. We don't rob Peter to pay Paul. Your money sitting on my e-wallet is not an asset for me. It's not. It's a liability. I need to move that off and get you paid. So I actually forced money out of Paul's e-wallet. Not me, our CFO did. But he's like, what'd they do with my money? Where did that go? Or like, why are they pushing money off? Deborah Taylor say, Phyllis Terry, why are they taking money in my e-wallet? I don't want it right now. Well, guess what? That's a liability. I'm not keeping it any longer. Twice a year we push that off, right? So, but obviously multiple six-figure income earners, you guys are tremendous leaders. We appreciate you and the impact that you've had because you've been able to attract some tremendous people in your team, right? And so all the way upline, lots of appreciating going on. And where else in business do you see people cheering you on when you find success? You don't typically see that, right? So great job.
Thank you, Dave. Hey, I'm sorry I missed your call when you called me, man. I just had so much. My wife said, you missed David Hart call? I say, yeah, Donna, I see it on my phone, but I don't know what I was doing, Mr. Hart. But I did appreciate you reaching out and calling us and congratulating us on being ambassador. Trust me, we're gonna hang in here with Trevorium because hey, Trevorium is in us, and we have some amazing people that join with us, and we having a lot of fun. Like Chris Bailey say, being out there and being on that world tour with like Chris Bailey, Keith Brown, Dr. Phil, Danny. We met a few other people that didn't really speak English, but just being out at the pool and being on a world tour with other people, and you can sit down and talk about what you're going through, or what some steps will be able to get to become a 1-star ambassador, 2-star, or 3-star. It's incredible to be able to spend that time with the ambassadors. So I mean, the new platform that you creating, it'll give us another opportunity to fly out to Vegas and say, Chris, come on, man, let's team up and stay for like a week, and you stay for, I got a week, and we bring some people out, man. So thank you for always giving the company another big successful thing to look forward to, Mr. Hart.
You're welcome. I love it that we are attracting quality people in our company. And
I'm glad you putting this up, David, because I want to say this is exactly what I was going to say for the Scales, Chris, and Harlan. One thing that I could say about all of them is that they counsel with their upline. One thing that I can say, they are very respectful, they are honorable, they create relationship. I know what be going on with them. I can say truly that they have always respected me as their ambassador. In every way. And so I'm glad this is your 7th step. I didn't know it was going to be your 7th step, but this is why they are successful. They have learned, you learn from your leaders how to make money. I remember when me and Paul first met, we met at midnight. I mean, it was a very late call on Messenger, and we've always respected and honored each other. And what you said in the beginning is that when a person knows what they need to do, you don't have to babysit people. You don't have to, right? But there's a scripture in the Bible, not sound like Todd, but iron sharpens iron. And if there's anything that you can do, you always want to make sure that you not only honor, but you counsel with the people above you. And even though Harlan is under Paul and all of that, how all of that works, they always honor each other. And I love that about them. And I love that for myself. And I love that for this team, because that is the way that we work. And there's so many dynamics that people don't see. But that is important, because when you don't honor and you don't respect the people that are in place, you're going to do more harm, because your leadership, your people are looking at you. And one thing you always say to me, David, I may not move as fast as some other people have moved, but I got a solid foundation to my team. I have some solid leaders and I have a solid foundation. And I can truly say that because I see it, and I just want to honor these men and Dr. Phyllis, because she's directly to me. But I want to say that you definitely want to counsel with the leaders. And then I want to recognize Daryl and Maria. They are hardworking. They are hardworking. They're driving this team, and we work. Like, I work from the hospital just like Daryl's working from the hospital. We work. And if you're not willing to make the sacrifice, as you and I tell my team all the time, if you're not willing to make the sacrifice, although life happens, will life be lifing? If you're not willing to do that, then you're not ready to be an ambassador. And some people hit these numbers because you fall in the right place at the right time, but your timing is off. And so you can hit ambassador, but are you really ready to be an ambassador? Are you really ready to hit those levels if you cannot respect and counsel with your own upline leaders and respect them? So that's what I want to leave today, because all I can truly say that Paul Scales, Chris Bailey and the crew do that. God bless you.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, we've counseled many times together, right? And I've seen a lot of personal growth uh, in how you build a network too. You know, you've created massive success here. So, you know, the larger your organization gets, the more you have to be in tune with personal growth because you're going to be counseling and mentoring people. So, you've done a great job. One thing Deborah, I always say about you behind your back is that I would never bet against you. Your work ethic is incredible. You're constantly working this business. And it's because of that commitment that you have and your ability to put, you know, to keep Trevorium in the forefront. You've been able to lead and find people that have been able to lead and find people like what you see on your team right now. They say birds of the same feather flock together. So if you want a business that has got strong leadership, then guess what? You better have strong leadership because you're going to attract those to you that are the same like you, right? So here we are on step 7. We're talking about success steps, counsel with the upline. So if you really want to win big, you know, you want to find out what all these people are doing on this call right here. And one thing that I'll tell you is that look at all of these people on this Zoom, they're all plugged in. And I guarantee you that all of them have learned something today that they're going to make applicable, whether they train it to their team because they already knew it, or they said, hey, I like the way that was said. I'm going to use it. Right. So all of the leaders are on this Zoom. All of them are doing that, plugged in. Be respectful. It's your responsibility to reach up to he needs to do the inside of the house. It's your responsibility to reach up to your upline. It's your responsibility to create a relationship. Can you imagine Paul Scales if he took on that responsibility of creating the relationship with everybody in his downline? It's impossible. Paul needs to work with the people that are movers and shakers. How do you become a mover and shaker? Hey, it's your job to create the relationship. It's your job to do the action steps that create results. And that's who Paul wants to work. That's who Deborah Taylor wants to work with. That's who all the leadership wants to work with, the people that are making things happen. So don't get offended if an ambassador is not reaching out to you. Make it your responsibility to develop the relationship with them. I think Harlan Hall said it earlier when he was talking about when he was speaking on the call, if I believe right. It was either Harlan or Chris, but doesn't matter. It makes whoever it was the right statement. Make it your responsibility to do that. Okay. Hey guys, guess what? We have another ambassador that's going to share with us, and then I'm going to let Todd close out the meeting. It did turn into a super Saturday today, right? But understand that the time that you invested in being on this Zoom today, we still have over 266 people and 900 people listening on Facebook right now. So you've got one of the things you got to understand is that this investment was an investment in you today. And you did one of the best things that you could possibly do in building your Trevorium business. And Phyllis Terry is a dynamic individual. I still remember the first time hearing you speak in New Orleans. And Della spoke that day too there in New Orleans. That was like one of our first world tours. I think was that Deborah Taylor's world tour. The one pastor was there. It was a great event. But when you came out sitting in the back with Daryl Roberts, and I was like, how the heck does she rhyme and say what she says and have it make so much sense? Tremendous speaker. I love you. You and your husband are great people. Every time I see your husband at an event, he's so, you could feel his spirit, his soul when he talks to you. Just such a good guy. Reminds me of Mike Oliver's spirit when I talk with your husband. So anyways, Phyllis, you know, when we're talking about being coachable, we're talking about counseling with upline, plugging in with people that you assimilate with or that you can identify with, you know, a little bit of that subject and why you're excited about Trevorium.
Thank you, Mr. Hart. I am definitely so excited. I'm even more excited. I am actually in the Maldives. We have paved the way for Trevorium here. It's a group of us. To be here, I'm almost in tears. I came in tears. My my video of Sean Trevorium opening up the Maldives and being a pioneer and a trailblazer to say that we came to represent a better life company and we have represented you well. I want to let you all know that they just told us this evening that they cannot wait till the rest of the Trevorium company come, because if all the people are like us that have come here to show the way of Trevorium, they are looking forward to us making this Maldives. So thank you so much for opening up the Maldives. It's been a lifetime dream for so many people. We made t-shirts with Trevorium to say, dream of a lifetime. And I have gotten over 10,000 views. And my DM has been backed up with people that's not even part of Trevorium. Those who are part of Trevorium are now saying, I want to be a product of the product. And they're ready to use their points. So thank you, to let you know that the Maldives and leaving from the Ritz-Carlton back to back, I'm thank
That's
you,
out of control.
thank you, thank you.
By the way, that's another one on my bucket list. People in the company going, I haven't been there yet. I got to make it
Yeah,
happen.
you
I got to.
have to make it happen. We have some here that one's from Italy that's part of Trevorium. We taking pictures together. There's some Spanish speakers that's from Miami. We just done our last dinner here together and took pictures. So we're one family, and that's all with Trevorium. So thank you for that. But I do want to say that the part of this call that I was able to get, because we're 9 to 12 hours difference on this part of the world. What we've been able to catch some of it. I understand that leadership and being able to be a leader, an example, is so important, because you cannot be a leader. I read this wonderful book that's always in me: Lead, Follow, or Get Out of the Way. You have to lead. You're either going to be a follower or get out of the way, or else you cannot get ahead. So I do want to just say that the leadership here has been phenomenal. I'm so grateful that out of relationship and being able to collaborate with other leaders and upliners, that no matter what, if the beat is dropped, you have someone that you can reach up to that still gives you counsel. I mean, even here in the Maldives, I'm still working, still been making calls, because I realize that the end of the money's here, and there's some other people that needs to have a better life. We've shown them an example, and I don't know how it was orchestrated in Qatar that 5 to 6 ambassadors was there all at one time, taking territory by force, representing Trevorium. So, Mr. Hart, you don't have to worry about Trevorium not being represented. We represent you well. We let people know that they can travel more, travel better, and travel for less. And we come here to help them to have a better life.
Yeah, what a great statement. Travel more, travel better, travel for less. And oh yeah, by the way, make money showing other people how they can save money on travel. Oh my goodness.
Yes, gonna make money by showing others how. I was just talking with a couple of people that are coaches that have been hitting me up saying this has been my dream trip. You know, I train people from all over the world. I actually called one from Atlanta today. I'm not gonna call today because we've been talking, and we talked for an hour. She had so many questions because of being a product and seeing what they want to see, and did not think that they would be able to do it. But I told them, with your warrior, all things are possible.
Well, you know what? You're living the lifestyle. And so you're traveling like a queen all over the world, right? And still making residual income too.
Still making residual income every day that I've waken up, even in the Maldives, even in Qatar. I have money in my e-wallet. That's right. And that is amazing that I don't have to worry about that. Thank you so much for being a company that you never missed a payment. You never missed a payday. It's always on the way. I have never had to worry about that. Didn't have any doubt. The integrity of Trevorium is impeccable. That's one of the things I love about it. And besides that, we are a faith-based company, and we're not ashamed of our faith. I can take industry and ministry and bring it together with Trevorium and still represent that T that's on the cross of Triborium. I say it's that T. It represents the resurrected cross. I tell people all the time, look at Triborium. That T means that we came to resurrect your life while you are existing. We came to make sure that you have life and have it more abundantly.
Amen to that. Amen to that. You know,
Yes.
I would just say that. So you're Doha, Maldives, just traveling all over the world. You know, I have a good friend.
Then
He's
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Yeah, you
We
got
going to the
next
the
week.
next world tour, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Then with the fourth world tour for this month will be New Orleans. 4 world tours back to back in less than 30 days.
Good Lord, you
Wow.
costing me a lot of
Wow.
money in travel, girl.
Why not? You paying it to me. I'm gonna use what
Good
you paying.
Lord.
Thank you, Phyllis, for taking over my
Yeah, I'm
place.
just gonna say that's an internal joke between me and Deborah Taylor. That's internal. So, you guys be killing me on travel expense. So, but that's you know what? It's great. It's fantastic. I have a good friend. He's a very successful dentist, and he's in the top 1% of what dentists make in the world. And he doesn't have that ambassador lifestyle. It's like he can't leave his practice and go travel and still make money. Like when he leaves his practice, he's not there. He's not making money. So, you know, beyond, you know, making income, you know, the residual side of this business is the lifestyle of our company and what that gets to create. And then the relationships too. I can tell you all the ambassadors that came on and spoke and that are on here now. You know, what's resonating in their hearts right now is this feeling of just content. What's the right word that I want to use? A feeling of just joy, I guess, and peace. And they know that, hey, you know, we're at the right place and it feels good, and we're directing people to the right place, and that's important. So I get a little choked up, so I want to be careful how I say this, but you have a positive impact in people's lives in a positive way. You know, that's part
You
of my
know what
stand.
David, it is important because before we had the site where we could book 24 hours, my son called me with an emergency. And we I gotta be in South Carolina on Tuesday. But I
Mm.
was able to book a hotel. I decided not to stay at the house, stay at a hotel. I decided I could book it the same day, come to the hotel, saved over $225. I'm in a suite, I'm comfortable, and I was able to be close to my son who was at the hospital. Without Travorium, I would have been a nervous wreck. I would have been trying to figure out how I'm going to get here, what I'm going to do, and to be able. So, what Travorium has done for me has given me a lifestyle of time, money, freedom, and peace. What it's given for my family is the freedom to be able to have me in a place where at this age, where I'm almost 70 years old, where I'm able to do what I want, when I want, how I want, and I'm able and mentally and physically available to be available for my family. That's amazing. So I can turn around and go right back and do what I need to do for the company and then turn right around and then fly back out to go to St. Louis. So, I mean, I'm just saying that it really has given each of us the opportunity. I was just telling Harlan, his wife is in transition with her job from the government. When I came to Travorium, I had got laid off my job from the government and I was broke. I was unemployed from the government. I was working for the president, unemployed. Travorium has now restored my income and tripled it from what I was making from the government. Daryl is sitting in the hospital deciding where he can go. When I had melanary thyroid cancer, They gave me those same options. John Hopkins, Sloan's, it was John Hopkins, Sloan's, or the Mayo Clinic. They never gave me those options when I was working for the government. So I'm saying that Travorium has done accelerated and increased my lifestyle. And it does bring tears to your eyes for me. I can't speak for nobody else, but I can speak for me.
Great testimonies, great stories. And to just have control of your time freedom is important. So that's the story. That's that's the we're gonna impact hundreds and hundreds of people's lives that are going to move on to ambassador in our company in the next 6-12 months, hundreds of people. So we just have to continue doing what we're doing. And worst case scenario here is you get a couple vacations a year while you're on your self-development to understand this profession, which is a profession, network marketing, and work on your ability to communicate with others better. We're always learning. There's not an ambassador on this call that would tell you that they've got it 100% figured out, that they're always learning, they're always making mistakes, but we learn from our mistakes. We learn to control our emotions. We learn to control our action steps. We learn to control how we do things, how we interact with people. It's constant in improvement, something that I work on constantly. I by no means am perfect. I make mistakes all the time. But understanding, when you make those mistakes, being humble enough to say, hey, how do I learn? How do I get better? And who can help me become better? And that's what we're all in the process to do in this thing called life. So continue to do that. One of the best people I know in the industry that understands our industry, and I learn from him all the time and value his friendship. He's our top income earner in the company, and he's a student of the industry, and just an all-around fun guy to be around. I moved to Las Vegas, so him and his wife decided to buy a home, move up there too, or we moved to Henderson, which is actually not Las Vegas. It's actually one of the top safest cities in the country. And we did it. And I moved up there. That he followed me, and we love it up there. The other day, him and our wives, we all have these electric bikes, and we went and it's like the electric bikes where they kind of assist as you go. But we have all these trails at our house, and we got to go hang out with them, and we biked, I don't know what, Todd, 18 miles that day in a couple hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a 95-degree weather, so we were sweating pretty good, and he was sweating, working a little bit harder than me. But just great, the relationships you get to create as you build the business. But he is a scholar of our business and a mentor to a lot of people. And he reminds me of a mentor I had when I got started early on in the industry. And when my mentor spoke back in the mid 90s, I would sit down and take notes. Wow, how he's doing that, how he prospects, what he says here, what his mindset's like. He's somebody you can learn from. But this is actually his training call. I told him the other day, he didn't even ask me. I said to him, I said, yeah, I'm going to come on your training call. He was at my house after the bike ride or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, you're on. He calls me this morning. It's like 8:20 in the morning. He says to me, he goes, oh, by the way, we have the call. I try to play it off like I was still in bed. He starts laughing. He goes, I know you've been awake for hours. You're coming on. He goes, I said, man, we're going to do it. It's going to be a great time. So Todd, take it over. Final thoughts.
My gosh, it's turned into a super Saturday. I mean, Chris Bailey, you nailed the term here. I mean, guys, you hear it from all the ambassadors. Your income is the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with today. You spent time with Eager and Larissa. You spent time with Mr. David Hart. You spent time with Mr. Daryl Roberts and Paul and Donna Scales and Harlan Hall and Chris Bailey and Dr. Phyllis Terry. I mean, you are spending time with people. Add up their incomes. It's millions and millions of dollars per year that this group is earning. They're reading books, they're going places, they're going to be buying second homes, third homes, leaving careers behind. Just listen to the travel. I mean, how many people you get to hang out with? Well, yeah, I was just in Qatar. Now I'm in the Maldives. I'm going to Hilton Head. Then I'm going to St. Louis. I mean, guys, our people are crisscrossing the world. They're part of the jet set crew. Who gets to do that? People here get to do that. David Hart outlined the 7 different principles of success. We recorded this 2 different ways. I'm going to make sure we get this recording to our brand officer and see if we can't break it up into small little power segments for each and every single one of you guys. And so maybe Dave put it back up here. So guys, know your why. We'll go through them here real quick. Know your why. Share the business, share the business, share the business. Be teachable, be coachable. You learn to attend the Zooms, attend all of the events, plug in. Guys, from there, you got to use the service, be a product of the product. Number 6, you have to learn personal development. Let God transform you to a new person by changing the way you think. It's the books you read, the audios you listen to. And then finally, you have to counsel with the upline. Guys, plug into the upline, right? When you sign up, you want to have all of the numbers of all of your applicable upline ambassadors, right? And you want to get to know them, learn from them, source from them, counsel with them. And remember, anytime you buy somebody's opinion, you buy their lifestyle. And so if you hear something negative from someone that's not living the life you want to live, they're not an ambassador. They're not, crisscrossing the world like Paul and Dr. Philip. They're not doing the things in life. Go counsel your upline. Take their advice, not someone that's not living the life you want to live. But guys, what an unbelievable event today. We're going to try to get, again, we'll post this video in Trevorium University. Just get it in the back there, the entire 3-hour marathon. It's on Facebook right now. You guys can send it out to people. But also, we'll see if we can't get Troy to break it up into some small mini power segments, create a lot of different smaller videos, bite size that people can use. But Mr. David Hart, man, thank you so much. Thank you for 3 hours and 10 minutes coming on and pouring into everybody, helping everyone. I mean, you and Adela creating this company, creating this lifestyle. And earlier, you were looking for a word. You talked about joy and peace. I've been observing, and it's an interesting observation. It doesn't matter whether you're an ambassador or somebody brand new. When I hear people talk about the company, it's amazing to hear the overwhelming gratitude that they have for the company and the person who shared the business with them. And guys, imagine you're in a business where your very act of sharing is going to create this unbelievable gratitude of people toward you. And don't ever let the people that aren't open today slow you down from finding the ones that are, because you have that blessing in your mouth. You've got a miracle in your mouth. And all you got to do is go out and share it with people. You heard from Eager and Harlan and Paul and a number of other people. There are people out there today looking for you, praying that maybe you'll show up, praying that you'll bring them that thing they need. You have a miracle in your mouth. Just go share it with them, because guys, the people here, they got joy in their heart and they got money in their bank account. With that, guys, hey, appreciate you being here today. Hey, by the way, tonight, I know that Dale and Marie are doing their SNL Saturday Night Live. If you guys have, check in with your ambassadors. Lots of people doing lots of calls today. So get plugged in with your upline ambassador. Find out what calls they're doing. But I know that Dale and Marie are doing that SNL tonight with some live testimonials. Tomorrow night, we got the fireside chat. Labor Day weekend. I even text Deborah and Pastor Mel and Cynthia, said, hey, it's Labor Day. You want the day off? Heck no, it's Labor Day. We're laboring, man. We're making money. All right. So they're doing that Zoom tomorrow night, the fireside chat. On Tuesday, we have the corporate update call. Guys, you start promoting that corporate update call now. It's the most important call we do every single month. I mean, guys, they had one in a market recently, right? It was the Kazakhstan call. They have a fraction, a tiny fraction of what we have here in the United States. They had like 1,000 people on the call. And so, guys, we need to be calling everybody, texting everybody, getting them on that Zoom, because Tuesday night, here's all the different rake advancements. Here's all the different announcements and promotions and things that are happening. And so, guys, we're going into the fall. This is the number one time of year. Okay, the kids are back in school. Mom and dad are back into the routine. This is harvest time. It is harvest time, right? This is the moment where people start settling down, looking at businesses. They're not going on vacation. They're not in the Maldives. And people are back in their routine. So we're in that number one time of year. So we want to obviously start the month off, right, with the corporate update call going into the fall, September, October, November. Hey, with that, guys, have a great day. Happy Labor Day weekend. Thank you again, Mr. David Hart, and for all of our ambassadors who spoke today. And God bless. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Have fun in the Maldives. Your video was incredible, Dr. Phyllis. That video was off the chain.
I learned it from you. Every minute of it, I thought I had you in my mind.
It was a great video. All right.
you.
See you, Chris. Bye, Paul. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye, Chris. Bye, Paul. Bye-bye.